competitive. He hates to lose. He's one of the league's best. A sophomore goalie waiting in anticipation of a fleet-footed, crafty onslaught. And that's what Ryan Bach saw. Some incredible plays from a Minnesota team that knows how to rally. They did just that, led by the freshman class. Mike Crowley with a late first period goal, and Ryan Kraft on the power play lifted Minnesota off their feet and off the deck. At the other end, a veteran goalie prepared as well. Jeff Callanan knew the rally would prompt a response. WCHA's most prolific goal-scoring machine would come at him with pucks and bodies flying. In the end, it was the Tigers who were fit to be tied, and the Gophers who returned to respectability and reestablished themselves as one of the league's elite.
MSC, your sports connection, is proud to bring you Golden Gopher Hockey. Sponsored in part by the new Dodge and your neighborhood Dodge dealer, by McDonald's Restaurants, by Federated Insurance, and by Tires Plus Service Centers. Now, let's join Frank Mazzocco and Tom Reid.
There's only one WCHA series this weekend, and this is Game 2 between the Golden Gophers of Minnesota and the Tigers from Colorado College, and it comes your way live on MSC. Hi again, everyone, along with Tom Reid. This is Frank Mazzocco. Minnesota coming off a thrilling 3-1 victory on the road here last night. Tonight we start the story with some changes in goal for both teams. At least one surprise, Tom.
Well, the one that's not the surprise, Frank, is Judd Lambert going to the net for the Tigers tonight. They have rotated all season long with Ryan Bach, and they will continue to do that. But the big surprise comes with the Gophers, as Jeff Moen will get the call tonight, replacing Jeff Callanan, who had a great game last night.
Callanan arguably played his best game of the season, made 35 saves. He's only lost twice this year. Moen, on the other hand, made one previous start. That at North Dakota, he lasted 2 periods. His other appearance in a losing cause when he was inserted in the lineup in overtime against Michigan Tech. A questionable call for the coach. Let Doug Boog explain why.
Jeff Moen's got to get himself on track, and it's difficult sometimes at home when you're not playing as well as you like to, and I think the best chance for him to get on track is right here tonight against a very fine CC team.
So it should give him an opportunity to see if Moen is battle ready, if you will. But Tom, what effect does this have on the skaters?
Well, I think the one thing, Frank, they have to rally around Jeff Moen right now. He's had a difficult time, and confidence is such a key part of being a goaltender. He doesn't have that confidence right now. So the players realize that they've got to help him out and help him get back in the type of play that he had last year.
The Tigers probably don't care who's in nets. They know they can score 6 goals a game. They'll try to do that and salvage a split for the weekend series. We'll have the opening face-off right after this timeout.
Heroes. Mine, of course, were sports heroes. Walter Payton, Larry Bird, Reggie Jackson. People who inspired me and eventually sparked my interest in sportscasting. Now that I'm older, my heroes are no longer larger than life. Little kids with big dreams. Students who can jam on the court and in the classroom. These are my heroes. And at Sports 13, my heroes get the same coverage as yours.
A holiday tradition continues. Clancy & Company presents the 1994 Holiday House. This year, indulge your Christmas fantasies at 2 beautiful homes in Cedar Heights. You'll find hundreds of decorating ideas, from the relaxed to the resplendent. Admission's only $4, and all proceeds benefit Pikes Peak Hospice. Share in this Colorado Springs tradition. The Holiday House, open every day, December 8th through 18th, from 11 to 7. Take Route 24 to the Manitou exit and follow the signs.
News 13, on the front line when breaking news happens.
At about 1 this afternoon, a lightning strike started the fire at a tire dump.
Not afraid to get close to the story.
Things are developing quickly right now. I'm sorry, you're 30 seconds to go. Okay. You need to move out. We need to get going. John, things are happening really quickly right now. We've got to get out here and evacuate ourselves.
Bringing you the information you need.
It is still burning out of control.
The leader in breaking news coverage. News 13, everywhere, every day.
There's Here's a look at Jeff Moen, who is the man in the hot seat tonight.
Well, last year, and that's the one thing Jeff wants to go back to, 11 victories out of 20 games he played in last year, and that's what he'd like to start going for this year.
The other end, Judd Lambert is the leading goalie statistically in the WCHA.
Over 91% save percentage, and that is so good. And I'll tell you, he's one of the go-to guys that the Tigers need if they're going to be successful.
The Tigers with a score to settle, if you will, trying to even this series, while the Golden Gophers hoping and fully believing that they can sweep this series against the number 2 team in the country. Here's Nick Checo, who picked up 2 points for Minnesota last night, flips it to the line. It's blocked by Ferns and then flipped right back in, but he did so offside. So we'll have a stoppage in the opening 11 seconds of play here at the Cadet Arena on the United States Air Force Academy grounds.
And look at the guy who got the winning goal there last night, Mike Crowley, and Doug Goog very happy with the play of that freshman defenseman for the Gophers this year. Don Lucia at the same time trying to make certain that his team bounces back here after suffering their first defeat at home this season.
Here's Ryan Kraft bringing it in onside along with Checo and Bell, his 2 line mates. Now Goodmanson to the Minnesota line, drops it to Jay McNeil. His shot hits a body, and the rebound bounces to Scott Bell. Bell carries it as far as center ice, and then he was stood up on the play by Chad Remical. Both teams making changes here in the opening minute of play. Crowley to pick it up at his own line, finds Dan Woog. Woog gets it to Bonin. Bonin and Woog have flip-flopped on this line. A bump there by Larson, and play goes on, but the Tigers intercept and get it out at center ice. Larson, I thought, might get a penalty for interference, but none was called. Here's Walkman to center, and now Woog shooting it in. It goes deep, and first man to it, Bob Needham, behind his own net. Lays it up on the wall, trying to find Geronazzo, and Peter Geronazzo dropped it back. Ken Ferns, the defenseman, plays it ahead to Colin Schmidt. That misfires at the Minnesota line, and Needham again with the puck. Schmidt knocked down by Woog. Bonin had it. Now Needham, the defenseman, rushing in. He is held on the play, and the first penalty will go against Minnesota, and the first power play to Colorado College.
Well, Bob Needham was taking the puck in, and all of a sudden he was grabbed as he was trying to go around defenseman Greg Walkman, and so the Gophers will pick up the first penalty of this hockey game, and the Tigers go on the power play. When you're a defenseman, you get caught flat-footed a little bit. You can see Needham right here, and you can see his Walkman coming to the left, but he knew he didn't have the speed there. So you reach out with that open arm, which he did, his left arm, just grabbing on, and that's the price you pay.
Walkman will sit while the Minnesota penalty killers get set. Kraft and Steege will be up front. I'll make it Kraft and Checo, along with Crowley and Treble. Here's Geronazzo with the puck, firing. That's blocked. He shoots again. It's blocked. In the slot, it's cleared, but it hit Kraft. Geronazzo shooting it back around. Schmidt waiting for it. Now into the corner, Reynard playing it around. Checo got a piece of it, but Geronazzo takes it away. Here's Reynard again trying to center, and the league's #1 power play unit works it along the wall. Elfring centers it. Now a nice drop to Schmidt right in front, and Moen makes the first big save of the game. Boy, right on the doorstep was Reynard, and that was a critical save.
And that first save is so important, especially when you're killing a penalty too. Jeff Moen coming up big with that first save, and that builds his confidence at the same time.
1:15 to go on the Tiger power play. They bring it up ice, led by the freshman Elfring, who flips it to R.J. Enga, the senior. And he gets roughed up a little bit by Bell, and vice versa at the blue line, where the offside call was made. Yeah, temper still just strained there a little bit, as Jason Goodmanson has a few words as well.
Minnesota doing a good job also in the penalty killing situation last night, killing off 9 out of 10. The only goal they gave up was a power play. But look at Jeff Moen. Notice how he threw that big stick right out of the puck as it was coming across, trying to get a piece of it or deflect it. Players camped on the doorstep, but making that save and coming up big for the Gophers.
That was one of the key factors in last night's Minnesota victory, the fact that they had just that one power play goal and the 10 chances Tom was talking about. Here's Remical shooting. He shot it wide. Boy, they come up with guns blazing once they gain possession in the offensive zone. Under a minute on the manpower advantage. Out of the corner comes Goodmanson, out of McNeil. Ferns at the line. His pass picked off nicely by Bonin, who has the time and uses it. Then skates it in over the line. Bell picks up the loose puck. He'll rag it a bit. He's got a man breaking in. It's Godbout, and then Godbout slides it, or tried to slide it to the corner, and that chewed up a good 20 seconds, I'd say. Treble takes it away at the line, and McNeil plays it back across that center ice. They get a little pressure there from Casey Hankinson at center. Here's McNeil now. Treble with another easy interception, and the Tigers having an awful time getting into the Minnesota end on the manpower advantage.
They are right now, Frank, because the Gophers doing a good job of forechecking. They're not giving the Tigers any opportunity to really set up.
Hankinson has to watch that puck go, otherwise there'd have been an offside whistle. Goodmanson now with just 2 seconds remaining on the Zwackman penalty, as the Tigers elect to dump it in and make the change just as the penalty expires. And a terrific job by the penalty killers there, because the Tigers were moving that puck with some authority. Here's Crowley shooting it in. Still a scoreless first period. We're in the opening 3.5 minutes of play. Treble to Bertley out the drop to Feeblecorn, and his shot was blocked in front of the net by Tanberg. Boy, did Jed get rid of that one in a hurry. Tanberg now plays it to center. Jason Christofferson flipping it in the zone, and Crowley gets it back to Bertley out now for Minnesota. It's sent to center. Feeblecorn was knocked down, and it'll be an interference penalty on Suizo and a power play for Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Your chiropractor is specially trained to diagnose and treat the injuries and complications caused by whiplash. So give yourself the best possible chance for a good recovery. Contact your chiropractor immediately.
For more information on whiplash or other spinal-related injuries, call Heuser Chiropractic for a free exam. We have 3 convenient locations to serve you.
So gets that interference penalty, 3:58, and Minnesota goes to its first power play. Officially, they were 2 for 4 last night, which is a pretty darn good rating. Bonin at center ice. Larson and Crowley join the rush as they bring it in. Here's Larson in deep. Dan Woog also part of this power play unit. Hartman and Enga, the 2 forwards, killing off the penalty for the Tigers, who are able to shoot it all the way down, and they'll kill their PK unit on the fly here.
Good play by John Steiner going in against Bonin, and was able just to get his body in front of him, get the puck, and then shoot it down the ice.
Brian Bonin to center, who was held without a point last night, but had just a fabulous hockey game. He shoots it in, and Reid shoots it right back out. A chance here for Remical, but a nice play by Nick Checo to not only knock it away, but rush it to the Tiger line. Checo forced outside by Reid, and there's Bonin to pick it up. He plays it in deep, but it's intercepted by Reid and shot right back out. Now Mullen to play it to center, trying to catch the Tigers in a change. Godbout dumping it in right corner. Dave Paxton drives it around, blocked by Andy Brink and played in deep. Checo tied up by Paxton, who can be a real heavy hitter at times. Jason Godbout scrambling to keep it in, but lost his footing, and the puck comes all the way down. Now Hartnell having rushing that loose puck behind the net, giving Moen fits, and they dodge the bullet there. Here comes Brink, half minute of the power play. Jason Godbout, the freshman, had to go off his stick. It goes deep. Kent Burns driving it around, blocked by Brink, but then off his skate back out at center.
Board's very lively here in this arena, and I'll tell you, once you get the shot on the boards, if you can wing it fast enough, it's very hard for the defenseman to get over there in time to pick it off.
Like playing on a pool table, like cushions instead of boards. Now to center ice, led by Dan Hendrickson. Takes a stick at center, gained the zone, but then he is stripped of the puck as that penalty to Suizo is over. Now Remical brings it in. He's rubbed off the play, at least for the moment, by Charlie Wasley. Goodmanson centers it, and Hankinson is there to take it away. Can't get it out. It bounds free. Jay McNeil rifles one wide. Back behind the net, here's Stiege. Hendrickson waiting for the loose puck. Tried to play it ahead for Wasley, but it didn't work. And it's back to Needham in his own end. Very few whistles here in the first period. Coming up on 6.5 minutes, and still no score. Each team with some zesty power play action, but still scoreless. Now Feeblecorn centers it, and it's tipped into the corner by Pankratz. He's hammered to the wall as a shot fired by Crowley goes wide. and Treble is chased by Geronazzo and unloads a nice pass to Pankratz. Ahead to center ice for Crowley. Now Feeblecorn locks up a bit with Reid, and Feeblecorn's going to get a high stick penalty, and they're calling it tight again here tonight. We'll be right back.
It says 4 solid reasons why you should buy your new car by December 31st. $1 over invoice on all 94 Mazdas. 2.9% financing on 95. 3 months till your first payment. And 4, Bob Pincus will pay off your credit cards up to $2,500, but only to New Year's Eve. $1 over invoice. 2.9 financing. 3 months till your first payment. And we'll pay off your credit cards. But till December 31st only at Bob Pincus Volvo Mazda, Motor City.
Well, the high sticking call going against Jet Feeblecorn. Reid on the board. Very questionable call, but nonetheless, the call is made, and so the Gophers will be shorthanded for the second time in the game.
Here's Colin Schmidt breaking in, firing a shot that looked like it was going to be high. Went off Jeff Moen pretty high on the body, and then rippled the netting above what are fairly short pieces of plexiglass back behind either goal here. Should be 6 feet. I'm going to guess, what, about 4.5?
Yeah, it's probably 4.5 feet, Frank. I don't think it's much more than that, so it will create some stoppages of play here. As you can see with Jeff Moen challenging the shooter right there, and gets the pad up, and it goes into that net area, and so the stoppage will bring the face-off to his right. But Jeff needs some shots at him, too. Once that makes it a little bit easier on the goaltender, too, instead of standing back there not getting a lot of shots. And the Gophers have really responded in this first period by coming to the forefront here, helping him out. They know they've got to give him some extra protection back there.
A long shot fired from the point by Eric Reid goes into the corner, and then eventually pops the glass again up into the netting.
Well, the second night is so much more difficult in a hockey game, and of course at this altitude also 500 feet higher than what they're used to. At CC makes it a little more difficult for the players, and if you're not used to it, as the Gophers are not, you can bet they'll feel the effects of this as the game goes on.
Peter Geronazzo, one of their top scorers, and certainly was a thorn last night. Real hard-nosed kind of hockey player, and goes to the net pretty well. Colin Schmidt gains the zone, pops it to Geronazzo. A puck continues to bound around. Whacked out of the zone by Stiege. Brandon Stiege had a strong game for Minnesota last night. Geronazzo flipping it in. 90 seconds on the power play. Treble driving it around. Picked up by Stiege, and he launches it in the air to get it out. Elfring back in front of his own net. Out at center ice, it's redirected to the line. Bonin breaks it up, tries a shorthanded rush, but it ran into a leg. Schmidt is onside as he brings it in, but can't get the shot off. They're preventing the Tigers from getting open even to get those shots away. Now played back to the line. Ferns, a rocket goes wide. Reid goes after it, but Bonin got a piece. Here comes Schmidt in front for Geronazzo. That's broken up by Treble. Geronazzo back in the corner with 50 seconds on the power play. Rayner to Ferns. A goal! Bell might have screened Moen, but it's a 1-0 Tiger lead.
And it's a power play goal also, and I think you're absolutely right, Frank. I think that Jeff Moen could not see the shot. Moen was in a position to try to find it, but Scotty Bell went down in front of him, and when he went down there, he did not get a piece of it. And all of a sudden, Moen lost sight of it, and as a result, he could not react fast enough, and the power play goal goes to the Tigers, the first goal of this game, and you can tell by the reaction, he knew there's a problem there. The assist on the goal will go to number 18, Ryan Reynard, and also will go to number 24, Peter Geronazzo.
Ferns with the goal, and it's a 1-0 hockey game. At the line, Hartnell holds the zone. Pankratz in the corner. Now Brink back behind the net, and it's up the middle and loose. Tipped away very cleverly by Brink, who turns near disaster into an opportunity here as he rushes it in. Then he is stripped of the puck by Ferns. Enga rattled hard by Bertliot. Pankratz can't get past Enga. R.J. Enga to Kent Ferns, shooting. And they're ready to shoot from virtually any angle if they can get it off. Now Kraft, plastered by Needham, there'll be a penalty. An elbow call here by referee-in-chief Greg Shepard. Power play for Minnesota. They need a goal to tie it. We'll be right back.
Some people call it alternative. Others call it new rock. We just call it dinner music. Go to Taco Bell for an exclusive collection of 10 of today's hottest bands like General Public, Cracker, Sarah McLachlan, The Spin Doctors, and Living Color. CDs just $4.99. Tapes $3.99. Part of the net proceeds go to Do Something, helping young people improve their communities. It's only at Taco Bell, so don't let it pass you by, because there is no alternative.
Well, Ryan Kraft with the puck right here, and you'll see Bob Needham, the sophomore defenseman, just come in there. You can see him throw the elbow up at the same time, and Greg Shepard quick to make the call. And so the Gophers go on their second power play.
There's a feed by Bonin to Dave Larson. And Larson kicks it along the wall, but it's taken away by Chad Remical. And flipped in the zone. We got to warn you a little bit about the penalty killers for Colorado College. They have scored 12 shorthanded goals. No, not in the last 2 years. They've scored 12 shorthanded goals this year. It's already a school record. Here's Bonin and Crowley. Now moved behind the net to Bonin. And now a loose puck grabbed by Reid. He gets it to McNeil at center, and he'll flip it down.
Nice play by Reid. When he got the puck, he just didn't turn and fire it. He had the presence of mind just to take an extra second with it and then make the play to make sure the zone was clear.
Colorado College skating much better tonight than they did last night, and Enga going in hard on that penalty kill forecheck. And look at there, another steal at center. Burns finally whacks it down. Here's Casey Hankinson off a skate. Ferns shooting it right back. And Moen leaves it behind the net. This time now he elects to clear it away from Suizo. Oh, Suizo gets a loose puck off the wall. McNeil firing, and a nice block by Kraft. Godbout trying for a steal at center, couldn't do it, and it goes deep in the zone once more. 20 seconds. They haven't had a shot in this power play, and they may not have had a shot yet in the period, Tom. I don't know, maybe 1, 2?
Well, they have not had a lot of shots, there's no question. And I think that part of that, Frank, is I think they are a little bit tired right now. They're not used to this. Although they're playing the puck well, they're making some good passes. They're not getting the jump and the starts they need.
McNeil, one man back, beats the D. Rebound the goal! That's an aggressive penalty kill. And Jay McNeil, their leading scorer, who was shut down last night, pops one in for a 2-0 lead.
Well, this is a solid effort also on the legs of McNeil. Watch here as he comes in on Charlie Walsley. He just cuts back to the side, he beats him, and then he takes a first shot. The rebound comes back to him. He takes a second shot. 21 goals on the year. He only had 1 shot last night, but he has not had a lot of shots here so far in this game, but he made this one count.
Scored by number 26, Jay McNeil.
A big one indeed for McNeil, his 21st. And it's a 2-goal hole that the Gophers find themselves in. Another of the factors last night in Minnesota's victory was that these high-scoring powers were held off the board. 9 goals for Enga, only 5 shots attempted. 20 goals in the year for McNeil. He only shot 3 times. And then Geronazzo with his 11. And there is a look at Geronazzo through the crowd. A blast is blocked. Now a wraparound try. Elfring, the defenseman, hangs onto it. Goes to the net. Goalie is out. Blow the whistle. And they finally do.
And also Pancrans was hurt on the play as he limps back to the bench right now, but what a dangerous play also. Elfring was really making a good play. Feeblecorn was on top of him. All of a sudden he just left him. And that allowed him to go right back in the play again. Watch here as Feeblecorn trying to get him. Elfring stops, but Feeblecorn keeps going. And all of a sudden, look at Moen. He's got everybody been behind him. And that's the problem when you get players in there and you got some size, and Geronazzo doing a job of trying to take the goaltender out of the play. But Jeff Mullen coming back in there, finally able to get down on top of that puck. The net coming off of the Magnets at the same time. Pankratz still suffering a little bit. That injury hobbled him to the bench. And Coach Doug Woog trying to figure out, what do I do now? I'm behind by 2 goals. We need some scoring punch. We've given up more goals tonight in the first 12 minutes of this game than we gave up all last night.
Feeblecorn may have the only Minnesota shot on goal, I'm not sure. But regardless, if Minnesota scored on all of their shots, I don't think they've even had 2 on goal, so you're not going to blame Jeff Mullen, not at this juncture of the game. Burns, nice save on the screen. And Crowley rides his man into the corner. He was on P.J. Tanberg, pretty good there. Christopherson ties up Treble. Treble looking for Hankinson, but could only throw it behind him. Here's Ferns. And now it's relayed out at center. Christopherson now to center. Hartnell bringing it in. Flipping it right in front. It goes all the way through. Treble now behind his own net. Crowley behind the net. To Treble. And here's Stiege. Wrapped up there by Suizo. Now an interception by Treble. And it's tipped by Hendrickson deep in the zone. Eric Rude, first man to it for the Tigers. Hartnell is bumped, and then it rolled away from Larson. R.J. Enga starts to move up ice. Enga, a member of the WCHA All-Academic team, centers it, and it comes all the way through. And now Rude being pressured by Larson. Bonin jumps on a loose puck, tapes it deep. Bonin centers it for Woog, and he pushed the shot wide. He might have been checked. Here's Larson after it again. And Elfring gets the loose puck. Hit his own man. That was Travis Shane. And Woog. And now it comes free to Bell. 1 man back. And that shot was deflected and still not on goal. Here's Remical. Overskates it, tied up by Bonin. And Zwackman back out at center ice. 6.5 minutes left in the first period. And the Gophers have had hardly any scoring opportunities. 2 or 3 maybe. Lambert plays the puck for one of the few times in the period. And a delayed penalty coming up here on Minnesota. Happened back behind the play, but Jerry Krieger spots an elbow. And another Tiger power play.
This year, make holiday gift-giving simple at Pine Creek Art Gallery. Original paintings and captivating prints accented with distinctive custom framing. Give that special someone a gift to remember. Visit our store at Chapel Hills Mall and, as always, in Old Colorado City.
Finding it tough to get home in time for News 13 at 5:30? You don't have to miss Southern Colorado's most comprehensive local newscast. Just listen to Sports Radio AM 1240 for a live simulcast. News 13 everywhere, every day.
Scott Bell will pick up an elbowing call as he takes it into Bob Needham, who threw an elbow earlier. You can see in the left side of your screen right there the reason for the call, and so he will go to the penalty box. The Tigers 1 for 2 in the power play. As you're right, Frank, the Gophers have had very few scoring opportunities, but they haven't been able to get any shots on net.
0.
When you look at that right now, 7 could be a lucky number unless you're on the other side of it.
McNeil shooting it in. Goodmanson goes after it. McNeil checked by Zwackman. And now Ferns at the line. Ferns again. Enga. Ferns. And a block by Kraft, who has hobbled a bit. Now McNeil taken down. Fans want a penalty on Zwackman. Out of the corner. Goodmanson plays it behind the net. Remical in front for Ferns. Up the middle, here's McNeil. Enga. Now Goodmanson behind the net, centers it. Moen gets a piece of it, but it's free. And now finally covered.
Well, that puck was rolling just in front of goaltender Jeff Moen. He was having trouble getting to it, but the Tigers doing a good job of moving the puck around the power play. Using Ferns back there in that point position. McNeil also able to get the puck in a position where they can score some goals. You can see Moen hit it with his stick and all of a sudden it fluttered up. And look at McNeil trying to get to it. He's not even getting into the fray because he wants to see where that puck is going to be. He's not looking at the men. And finally, that big fella right there able to grab onto it. And the Gophers still shorthand with Scotty Bell in the penalty box for another minute and 6 seconds in the game. They trail 2-0.
They can ill afford to go down 3-0, Tom, if for no other reasons. The fatigue factor up here in the higher elevations. Tough enough to come back from a 2-goal deficit against this club.
And the other part of that also, Frank, is the Tigers playing a much stronger game tonight. Skating-wise, passing-wise, everything else. I think perhaps they took the Gophers a little bit for granted last night. And all of a sudden, they have come back here tonight, and there's fire in their eyes.
Still 50 seconds, lots of time on the penalty to Bell. And here comes Eric Reid. Played with Des Moines in the USHL. Look out! Geronazzo crashes the goalie again. They got him for 5 minutes last night. Will they get him for the same here?
Well, he was in pretty tight to the netminder right there as that puck was coming up. It looked like he actually tried to grab it and tried to throw it down. I don't know if he's going to call a penalty against him or not. But watch right now, Geronazzo, he'll go to that net. And now Shepard is going to the penalty box, and that'll probably be the call. But watch right here, and you can see there's no question he could have avoided it. That's intentional again, and now we got a little shoving match going here.
Last night it was Geronazzo who ran the goaltender Callanan, but in the confusion of the melee, it was Reynard who was given the penalty. We'll see how they sort it out here tonight.
In the mountains, on the road, compromise nothing. Old Town Bike Shop, committed to serving cyclists since 1976. 2409 West Colorado Avenue in Old Colorado City.
Well, Doug Woog's not very happy, and I think he has every right to be upset with what's happening right now, because Geronazzo did the same thing yesterday, ran the goaltender, and tonight he does it again. And Casey Hankinson going after him after that case, and you can tell by the expression on his face that when this happens, there should be penalties, and Hankinson now has picked up a double minor penalty, and we'll see what the call is going to be against Geronazzo, but there's no question the Gophers should get something else on the power play out of this. Give Hankinson a lot of credit for going after him, because you can't allow the opposition to run against your goaltender. And now we got 4 minutes going on the board from both sides. We'll see if there's anything additional coming with that as well. But the official's still over contemplating that's what's happening.
Well, while they get this all sorted out, and it looks like it's going to take a time. And while I do this, Tom, why don't you grab an ear under the public address? We'll remind the folks that the Gophers will be getting ready for a holiday break and then back in action for the Mariucci Classic. And the visiting schools will be Western Michigan from the CCHA, Yale from out east, Boston University will be there. The Gophers, the host school, on both December 30th and the 31st. The games are at 4 and 7 o'clock. You can catch all 4 games here on MSC, your connection to Gopher hockey. And a half hour before the Gophers game, watch the Doug Woog Show here on MSC.
Well, once again, we'll show you this, and you'll watch how Peter Geronazzo will come in. The puck will come up high. Watch for number 24, right in the middle of your screen. All of a sudden, the puck will deflect up high right here. He comes up with his hand. He throws it to the goal. Now, there's plenty of time there, reaction time. From being a player, I know how quickly you can stop and how quickly you can turn. He elected to keep on going after him. And now we have Bert Liat over talking to Geronazzo at the same time. This is going to be a tough game. I'll guarantee you there's going to be some heated discussions going on between these players.
And I would say they've got Mr. Geronazzo's number. Well, you run a goalie once, fine. You run him twice, you're going to be in for trouble.
I don't care what team you're on, Frank, whether it be the Gophers or the Tigers, whoever. You can't allow the opposition to run your goaltender. You've got to stand up for it, but the officials are the ones who have to crack down on it. If they don't crack down on it, it continues. And it looks like the Gophers now will get a power play out of this.
Here are the penalties.
Casey Hankinson, 4 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15 minutes. That's Hankinson, 4 minutes for roughing at 15 minutes. The Colorado College penalties, number 24, Peter Geronazzo, 2 minutes for checking the goaltender, and 4 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15 minutes.
Well, I got to tell you, the call last night was checking the goalie in the crease, 5 minutes.
Why was it different tonight?
If Jeff Bowen was not in the crease on that one, they must have shrunk the crease. Elfring brings it in. And for about another 20 seconds, we're 4-on-4. Here's Checo. Cold turkey breakaway. Fired high. And still no shots on goal.
Boy, oh boy, they don't get a lot of chances in this first period, but you've got to make them count when you get those opportunities.
Well, at least get her on net. Here's Brink. And they call the play on the offside. Took them a while, but they finally spotted it.
Well, Jason Godbout had gone down that right wing position. He got trapped in there. Brink did not see him, and so as a result, the offside will bring the face-off outside the Tiger zone. Nick Checo had a little bit of a chance here because Eric Reid got caught flat-footed and he fell. Actually going back right here, and that Checo able to make that quick turn there, come up with it. He's going for the top corner, but he's just wide, and you got to give the goaltender Judd Lambert also because he did not give him a lot of room to shoot at. So look at it once again, and Nick Checo in the head in the right position, looking up where he wanted to go, but missing the target.
About 4:10 to go in the period, and now a power play underway for Minnesota. And it will be their third. Another minute remaining on that second minor to Geronazzo. Ryan Bonin, treble, Crowley. Now here's Larson. And Bonin again. At the line, treble, Crowley, right in front for Bonin, and he couldn't tee it up. To the line for treble, Bonin again. Back to treble. The corner, here's Woog, rolling it in front, and Needham takes it away. Crowley pinching in to keep it alive, a nice play. And a bounce to the Tigers. Remical, he's got McNeil breaking, and the pass to McNeil too far, so they're happy to just throw it down with another 20 seconds on the penalty to Geronazzo. Ryan Kraft, who had one of Minnesota's goals last night, finds Brink flying in deep, centering it. That rolled up the back of the net. Brink thought it was in, but it was on the cord. And now McNeil with a little drop at center ice. Here comes Enga. Enga brings it in, tried to get it to Suizo. That was broken up. Now Kraft back the other way as the minor penalty is over. Geronazzo not out, but whoever was serving that penalty has stepped out. He's got another couple minutes to serve. Under 3 minutes to go in the period. Jesse Bertliot. Beevelkorn has lost his stick. Needham. That pass is off a skate. Bertliot taken to the wall hard by Schmidt. Needham bumped by Beevelkorn. Bertliot trying to shovel it in deeper. Needham playing Beevelkorn to the wall, and Schmidt gets it behind the net to Elfring. Elfring gets it to center, and Pankratz across now. Jason Godbout takes a look, finds Pankratz at center. Whoa, he was dropped at center ice on an apparently illegal check, no whistle. Christofferson's backhand goes all the way through. Boy, from here it looked like a clothesline brought him down. Here's Stiege in the corner. Christofferson on him in a hurry. Bosley's pass, that's broken up by Schmidt. He'll try the wraparound. Moen reaching behind and holds on to that loose puck. Well, some spirited play by the Gophers down at the other end. Not exactly getting a lot of great scoring opportunities. As you can see, they've only had 2 shots on goal. Here's the last flurry as Colin Schmidt makes some things happen by knocking the puck loose, gets the shot on goal, and Moen sprawling to make the save. Here comes Pankratz. How is he hit? Well, maybe at most it'd be a hold, but I guess that one might be a little tough to blow the whistle on. 1:47 to go in period 1. Tigers control. McNeil falls. Gophers can't pick it up. Gudmundsson rockets one. Well, I'll tell you, for the Tigers, the operative phrase here is fire at will. They get the puck, and in a split second, it's headed towards the net, virtually from any spot on the rink. At center, here's Bonin. Checked at the line, and apparently that puck came out and back in. Steiner hits Woog, and Shepard says Steiner and Woog are both going to go. All I saw was the retaliation by Woog. Shepard apparently has spotted both. And so they will be sitting here at 18 minutes and 38 seconds. this action happening deep the other end. Oh, pretty good slash there, Tom.
Well, you watch the play also there, Frank, and you see Woog just kind of turn at him. He really didn't do anything, and all of a sudden he's going to get the penalty as well. But the one thing the officials have got to do, they've got to clamp down here, because this game will get out of hand in a hurry.
Yeah, as soon as Geronazzo steps back on the ice, I have a feeling he's going to find out where he's skating and try to follow him, sort of. Maybe more than that. We're 4 skaters aside right now. Here's Checo shooting it off the glass. Brink trying to hold the zone, does. And behind the net once more, Shane. Over to Eric Reid. Reid to center, the pass too far for Hartnell. It comes in on Moen, and he has to cover up as Hartnell takes Crowley to the wall. A little more stuff after the whistle. And you can't take your eyes off the action for a moment. I think Checo's going to go. It's a rough. They can call him tight at times. And Greg Shepard whistling off Checo right there.
That sets the tone right now, Frank, because the players have got to realize if they do anything, the referees are going to call it. Greg Shepard, who's the supervisor of officials in WCHA, taking no nonsense. The players have to realize that they have to settle down when something happens. They got to back off, because they're not going to help their team or help their cause by being in the penalty box from either side. You watch Checo right here, see the little shove coming in here. And Checo comes into the play once again, and just Shepard was standing right on the doorstep at the same time, so he was in a position to watch it all.
Power play number 4 for the Tigers, under a minute to go in the period. It's a 4-on-3 skating advantage. They bring it in offside. Rash of penalties up on the board still. Woog still off, as is the Tiger player Steiner. As you look at the Tiger penalty box, Brian Bonin getting ready at center ice for this face-off against R.J. Enga. Now McNeil tied up by Zwackman. Here's Bonin. To the line, not out. Drop pass by Remical to Ferns. Nice block by Bonin. Treble in the corner. And Bonin with the puck. He'll eat up as much time as he can before he shoots it down, but I think it went off a Tiger player and then into the bench. So the face-off will be out at center ice where the puck was last touched. Tom Reid standing by, ready for our intermission, which will be coming your way. We'll be talking with Jeff Callanan live down there at ice level to get some of his impressions on an outstanding game that he had last night. We'll have the Doug Woog report, and we'll also talk with Jeff Jackson, who is the defending NCAA championship coach from Lake Superior State, who will be the head coach of the national junior team. So a lot coming your way in our first intermission. Still 4-on-3 power play for the Tigers, and 8 seconds remain in the period. Reid up ice, 3 seconds, one more shot. Gloved by Moen as the buzzer goes to bring an end to this period. And we'll just sort of keep one eye on the players as they head off without further incident. And we'll get our intermission in a hurry here from the Air Force Academy in Colorado.
Outfit Grand Adventure. Shop Grand West Outfitters this holiday season. Rack up savings. Yakima car top rack systems, all 30% off. Dash through the snow on cross-country skis. Packages starting at $99.99. All Columbia parkas and jackets, 30% off.
Oh, holy cow!
Solomon Adventure 7 rugged hiking boot, $99.99. Save $50. For a host of savings on packs, bags, boots, and more, shop Grand West Outfitters, 3250 North Academy. Open 7 days a week.
You know, I do think about things besides the weather. During those few moments, I'm usually out here restoring the vet. Sooner I need a screwdriver, a Phillips, not a socket. Go get it. It's a project that requires patience, a lot of patience, just like preparing my daily forecast. Analyzing all the data I receive is time-consuming, but it's the only way to bring you the most accurate local forecast possible. Besides, patience usually has a way of paying off.
Craig Setzer and News 13 Weather, a part of your life.
The Tigers from Colorado College have found again the jump in their legs and their skates. They have a 2-0 first period lead over the Golden Gophers from Minnesota. A team that won last night 3-1, thanks in no small measure to outstanding goaltending from Jeff Callanan, who's standing by right now with Tom Reid.
Thanks very much, Frank. And Jeff, it appears this is the type of game we thought we'd see last night, much more physical, and the Tigers really have come up with a lot more jump on their step than we saw last night's game.
Yeah, they really have, and you know, we haven't really generated much offense. We only had 2 shots, I think, in that period, and it's been in our end a lot. You know, and we've been in the box a lot, and we haven't really been able to generate anything.
Jeff, in last night's game, Geronazzo ran you. He picked up a 5-minute major for checking the goaltender. Tonight he does the same thing against Moen. He gets 2 minutes. What's the difference? You're a goalie.
You know, I don't really know. Maybe it's just because we retaliated there at the end. Maybe you know, but I don't understand that. You know, running the goaltender, that should be a 5-minute. You know, especially when it was that obvious.
Goaltending was a big surprise, a change that came about today. When did you find out, and what was your reaction?
Well, we took a team walk today, and we just, you know, thought it was, you know, that was the thing that he wanted to do. And, you know, I'm not really, you know, here to judge his decision. You know, I just come, and, you know, my job is to go in there and play well when I get the chance.
You played extremely well this year. I mean, you've been in some very tight games, very tough games, but it seems that your confidence level is much higher this year.
Well, definitely, you know, because I've been playing, you know, every game basically, and you know, it just kind of you get that confidence early on in the year, and it kind of carries through. And you know, I'm a lot more experienced this year with, you know, all my playing time last year, so I feel pretty comfortable.
Okay, thanks, Jeff, for being with us. We'll have more coming up right after this timeout.
All right, Tom, I'm not gonna throw a timeout quite yet. Just want to wrap up a final comment here about the 2 goaltenders, Callanan and Moen. You've heard it many times about goaltenders, how they support one another and really will cheer for one another no matter who's in the nets. And that truly is the case between the 2 Jeffs, Moen and Callanan from Minnesota. All right, our intermission will continue in a moment. We'll hear from 2 of the top coaches in collegiate hockey, Doug Woog first, and then Jeff Jackson after this timeout.
The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is looking for a few good parents.
We have hundreds of wild animals up for adoption.
And your sponsorship will help care for and feed one of them for a year.
We do all the caring and feeding.
And you do all the visiting.
The hardest part is the choosing, but we can help you there. Here's the perfect stocking stuffer. There's no gift wrapping required and one size fits all. Just call the zoo for information and adopt a wild child.
Because nothing beats the joy of parenthood.
A holiday tradition continues. Clancy & Company presents the 1994 Holiday House. This year, indulge your Christmas fantasies at 2 beautiful homes in Cedar Heights. You'll find hundreds of decorating ideas, from the relaxed to the resplendent. Admission's only $4, and all proceeds benefit Pikes Peak Hospice. Share in this Colorado Springs tradition. The Holiday House, open every day, December 8th through 18th, from 11 to 7. Take Route 24 to the Manitou exit and follow the signs.
Southern Colorado's weather can change at a moment's notice. Isn't it great?
But that same unpredictability makes an accurate, up-to-the-second forecast a necessity.
When it comes to analyzing those complex weather patterns, no other team can match our 20 years of forecasting experience.
So check in with us every night at 5:30 and 10, because life offers up enough surprises.
Your weather shouldn't be one of them.
News 13 Weather. Experience counts.
Welcome back to our first period intermission, and with us once again the head coach of the Minnesota Gophers, Doug Woog. And Doug, last night a 3-1 victory over the Tigers here at Colorado College, and yet even though the 2 points is important, it's how they got the points and the fact they came back from a tough weekend against Denver last weekend.
Correct. 2 points in the bag, or 2 points in the bag, and that was good. And the fact that we needed to come back and have a strong showing. I don't know if you always win on strong showings, but we needed to have some resiliency and show that we have some sternness and some competitive spirit, and we did that last night, Tom. We came in here and played a strong, hard, gave an effort right through our lineup.
You know, so often we talk about teams and how successful they can be by what they do on the road, and I think one of the strong points of the Gophers this year has been the road play.
Yeah, somebody suggests we play all our games on the road. I said, yeah, the meal money's better. But I don't know what that's about. Actually, other than the little spread we had last year, and we went to Northern Michigan and Duluth, and we went to Colorado here early in the season, our win-loss record on the road over the last 20 games has probably been pretty doggone good. And we expect to win, and we don't always win, but we come out here figuring we're going to try to win, and you know, that's always been our goal. We don't change our game plan much. We did a few things in here yesterday because of the side of the rink, the elevation, and their offense, but we don't change a lot of what we do. We just kind of refine it, and the kids will go out and play hard, and when they do that and you get good goaltending like you did last night, you got a chance to win any place.
You mentioned goaltending. Jeff Callan has been just a strong force for you in that position, yet you've made the goaltending to bring in Jeff Moen tonight.
Yeah, last year people were wondering the same thing every time. Remember, we'd have Callan play very well on Friday night, and Jeff Moen would come in, and everybody would be apprehensive. Well, you know, how can they replace that? And Moen would play very well. Well, this year Jeffy Moen hasn't had the start that we'd hoped he'd have, but we need to get him in there. You can't be, you know, a one-team player, a one-goalie team, and Jeff, I thought it would be best for him to start away from home and get into a building where he doesn't have to respond to fans. He just responds to his own play and his teammates, and so the decision is made on that. And you know, just like our lineup last night, we used a lot of penalty killers. We got our defense spread out. We got a lot of work out of Charlie Wasley and Zwackman and you know, Godbout, and we had Danny Henderson, Steege playing. And I'd like to do more of that. I'd like to spread our lineup out, and if we get another goaltender in, that's going to help us in the long run.
Doug, you mentioned your penalty killers last night. Your specialty team certainly added to the success. 2 for 4 on the power play last night. 9 out of 10 times they were successful in killing the penalty, so that seems to be back in order again.
Well, our penalty killing hasn't left us, Tom, but the power play, like I said, is back in order. It was nice because actually it was our, you know, if you want to call it our second unit with Scotty Bell and Godbout and Brink and Nicky Checo and Ryan Kraft, who made the plays. It wasn't our first group that normally goes out, so that was nice and a little more depth there. But we need to do that. Our penalty kill was a combination of good luck, good goaltending, and good play. And I don't know which one is most important, but they all fit in. We had a series of penalties which were tough. When you play in this elevation, you only can use a certain number of guys. I mean, certain guys just aren't good penalty killers, and we ended up with lots of penalties in a row, and it was fatiguing, and yet we battled through, and with a couple big saves by Callan and a couple missed shots, a few pipes, we got through that thing in good fashion.
Well, hopefully you can get through it in good fashion again tonight. Thanks for being with us, Doug. We'll have more coming up right after this timeout.
Who's your favorite soft rock artist?
Oh, Richard Marx, Bonnie Raitt, Elton John.
Oh, I love Elton John. Mariah Carey.
Madonna.
Whitney Houston, Rod Stewart, Gloria Estefan.
Eric Clapton.
No, Phil Collins.
Eric.
Phil.
Barney, we said soft rock, not dinosaur rock. The new Peak 95.1, all your favorite soft rock artists, except Barney.
Most people don't think much about the weather until it sneaks up on them.
At News 13, we think about it constantly.
Especially what it'll mean for you.
What will the roads be like in the morning?
How should you dress your kids for school?
Will there be any school to dress them for?
And of course, the question we get asked most often.
What about the weekend?
These are all questions you need answered.
And for all those answers, you need us.
Craig Setzer, Terry Gerbstadt, and News 13 Weather. Experience counts.
Why is Ricky Lake the fastest growing talk show ever?
The topics are fun, packed with surprises.
You can relate to almost anything that's on the show.
She makes the audience feel comfortable.
She's not even looking at him.
She's refreshing.
You learn about everyday people. She knows what's going on.
Smart audience.
She definitely calls it like she sees it.
She gets involved with the people. The Ricky Lake Show. Talk for today's generation.
Weekdays at 2 on TV 13. The men of country music have always been hot. And today's countrymen are no different. They can still set a countrywoman's heart on fire, whether it's with a sizzling song,
It's like trying to hide a fire in the dark.
a smoldering glance,
And the thunder rolls.
or a sexy smile.
Baby, that's my style.
They're the men of the new country, and you'll hear them all on K-High 105.5 FM.
We're back. at the Air Force Academy in Colorado as the Golden Gophers and the Colorado Tigers, College Tigers, are locked up in this second game of the weekend series. And we're just thrilled to have as our guest between periods here Jeff Jackson, the coach of the defending NCAA champion Lake Superior State Lakers. But for this conversation, the coach of the national junior team. Jeff, your camp will assemble tomorrow. Give us a quick preview of some of the talent you'll have.
Well, I think we've got a real good group of young men that are going to represent the country in the World Junior Championships up in Red Deer. And, you know, there's a number of outstanding college players, both from our conference, Hockey East, WCHA, as well as some major Junior A players from across the United States. And, you know, we feel we've got a real good crop up front and a solid defense, and our goaltending is inexperienced, but we think we've got some talented kids back there as well.
You'll find out more about this club in the next couple of days, but do you expect it to be more of a skating style club, or have you molded it like the Lakers and you're going to pound them out against the wall?
Well, what would you think?
We're going to pound them out against the wall.
We've got a big group of forwards. We're going to have to play a very strong game along the boards, and to be successful at this level, we're going to have to make sure that we don't turn the puck over and play a very sound defensive game. I think that we have a chance to, you know, be a successful team, but it's going to really be based around a team concept and not really so much individualism.
Jeff, very brief visit, but we thank you for making the trip here to the booth, and good luck with the team in Red Deer.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it.
All right, Jeff Jackson, who will be coaching the national junior entry in the World Tournament in Alberta. Camp starts tomorrow here in Colorado Springs. We'll be back with our second period face-off right after this timeout.
Question.
Is December the best time to buy a car or truck?
At Phil Long Ford, we're making it that way with the best reasons of the year to buy now.
1.
Huge discounts, 500 new Fords, discounted up to $5,000.
2.
2.9 financing, 2.9 direct from Ford.
3.
Phil Long Ford has the car or truck you want, over $15 million in inventory.
Plus, the first 100 people who buy before Christmas get a genuine solitaire diamond.
Huge discounts.
2.9.
Plus a diamond.
The best time to buy is right now.
At Phil Long Ford, the value store.
A holiday tradition continues. Clancy & Company presents the 1994 Holiday House. This year, indulge your Christmas fantasies at 2 beautiful homes in Cedar Heights. You'll find hundreds of decorating ideas, from the relaxed to the resplendent. Admission's only $4, and all proceeds benefit Pikes Peak Hospice. Share in this Colorado Springs tradition. The Holiday House, open every day, December 8th through 18th, from 11 to 7. Take Route 24 to the Manitou exit and follow the signs.
Peter Jennings. He's seen it, done it, been there. He's America's most watched anchor. Laura Emerson and John Carroll, they cover it, uncover it, and tell you all about it. They're Southern Colorado's news team. News matters, and it matters where you get your news. Weeknights, Peter Jennings on ABC's World News Tonight, followed by Laura Emerson and John Carroll on News 13 at 5:30. It matters.
Hi, I'm Montel. Thanks for watching the Montel Williams Show, and I know you're going to keep watching, right? Of course you are. Weekday afternoon at 3, we'll have a great time.
This is not fair. Absolutely, Montel.
Don't forget, that's weekday afternoons at 3. I'll see you then.
Explore the issues with Montel, weekdays at 3 on TV 13.
Golden Gopher Hockey on MSC is sponsored in part by Nissan, by Molson Ice, and by your neighborhood 76 dealer.
We are in the fabulous foothills of the Rocky Mountains with Tom Reid. This is Frank Mazzocco on the grounds of the United States Air Force Academy. The Gophers and the Colorado College Tigers. For CC, this is their temporary home. Right now, they come up ice, and Remical fires a shot wide as a power play is about to expire. We are in the opening few seconds of play here in period 2 with Minnesota trailing 2-0. Goals by Ferns on the power play and McNeil shortly after a Minnesota power play had expired. A one-timer, and Moan a sprawling save. Remical tries to put it back in front. We've got an interference penalty back away from the puck.
And that's going to take place against Remical, who's going to get the interference call, I believe, as he and Checo came together. And Greg Shepard makes that call. You'll watch her. Remical take the shot right here. And in behind the play, you can see it also, the save by Jeff Moen, as that shot was coming from the far side. But nonetheless, the penalty has been called. And so the Gophers, who just finished killing off a power play for the Tigers, will get the power play of their own.
How's your tally, Tom, on power play count here?
Well, I've got CC 1 for 4, Minnesota 0 for 3.
Well, at least for 20 minutes, we agree. Got a little crazy last night counting power plays, what with 2 major penalties called at separate times. And that had all sorts of mathematicians scrambling, trying to figure out the power play chances. Here's Crowley at the line trying to keep it in, but can't. He'll have to hold up Hartnell. Hartnell moving in and can't get around Dan Treble, and now back the other way, the Gophers with about 95 seconds of manpower advantage. Treble from center, launching it in. It skips wide of Judd Lambert, who had only 2 shots on goal against him in the first period. This one hops to the side. Here's Checo again, and Kraft. Now to Checo. Treble puts it in front for Larson, who was all alone, but he couldn't handle the pass, and then it comes loose to Lambert, who covers up.
Nice play by the Gophers there, because they had the puck along the far boards. Everyone's keying in on it, and Treble had taken a look. Now look at the top of your screen. Look who's standing all by himself. There's Larson. As soon as Treble got the puck, he knew where he was going with it, because he had the chance to look up earlier and see that puck. He made the play, but Larson couldn't handle it. But a good opportunity for the Gophers.
Larson caught in that no man's land there of should I catch it or should I tip it. Would have been a tough redirection either way. Minute 10 to go on that minor penalty to Remical. Treble finds Woog now in the corner. Here's Bonin. Dan Woog to the line again. Treble shoots a screen and it skips wide. Rolls to the side. Woog jams away at it. Woog picks it up. Tried to put it in the crease. And now he'll set up again. 50 seconds on the power play for Minnesota. Down by 2. Treble. And to Woog. And it threw it away there. And it's tipped by Rude. Suizo taken away by Woog. It's cleared, not out, however. Treble, and now Lambert out to play the puck and shoot it around. Treble again. Behind the net for Larson, has trouble with it once more. And there is Eric Rude to drive it all the way down. 20 more seconds on the power play. Special teams on both sides changing. Mike Crowley for Minnesota. Looking for Bertley out at the line, but the pass was deflected and they flip it back, and that should wipe out the penalty to Remical. Dan Treble from behind his own net. Jet Feeblecorn finds Brandon Steege, who gets it into Bertliot. Bertliot shooting, and it's turned away by Lambert. Nice low shot by Bertliot, which is what you hope for to get some kind of rebound action, but Lambert played it very adroitly into the corner. 3.5 minutes into the second period. The Tigers up by 2.
Since 1917, Olson Plumbing and Heating has installed and repaired residential and commercial plumbing and heating systems throughout the area. Many quite well known. Now, with radio dispatch crews on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, Olson is ready when you have plumbing or heating problems. Whether the system is antique or modern, large or small, Olson Plumbing and Heating will do expert work at competitive prices. You can trust Olson for your home or business. Call anytime, 635-3563.
Right from the face-off, puck fired back behind the Colorado College net. Tipped loose there for a moment by Needham. Here's Brinkin after it. He takes a hit from Paxton. Now Bell rolls away from Schmidt. Bell tried to center it. That's deflected. It comes down to Schmidt at center. Breaks up ice, bearing down on Zwockman. Looking for Paxton. He's well covered. Gets it again. Mullen with the block, and then he holds on to a loose puck. And Paxton right on top of him.
Well, the Tigers once again coming very close, and Jeff Mullen coming up with a big save. And just when it looked like the play was going to be broken up, all of a sudden it comes right back to him again. See Kraft coming down there. He looked for the puck. That allows all of a sudden the puck to just lay there with Colin Schmidt taking the shot again. And you can see also that Jeff Mullen had to be very quick to pick up on it, as well as David Paxton was standing on the doorstep. And there's a fellow that the Gophers don't like right now. That's Peter Geronazzo, who has run the goaltender twice in 2 nights and been called for penalties on both those situations. Maybe talking to Jeff Callan between periods. You know, he can't figure out why one is a minor and one's a major. You got to make them consistent when you're running the goaltender. They've got to be majors.
Here's Steiner. Now to Remico, putting it right in front. And McNeil had a whack at it, but couldn't tee it up. They pin him and the puck to the wall. And we'll have a stoppage there. Take a look at the numbers for period number 1, brought to you by Champion Auto Stores, Crown Auto Service Centers. Big, lopsided edge in shots, 12-2 in favor of the Tigers. Minnesota 0 for 3 in the power play. The Tigers 1 for 4. And Minnesota with no shots on goal during their power play opportunities.
Interesting also in those shots on goals, the Gophers only had 9 attempted shots.
Here's Ferns. Boy, they gave him all kinds of time there. And then finally, he misfired. Steiner can't hold the zone. And now Dan Hendrickson will press him. Steiner back behind his own net. He is checked now by Hankinson, and sticks are flailing away pretty good there between both of those guys. Here's Goodmanson rolling it back to the blue line. Ferns in deep for Remical. Off a skate. And now another block on the far wall, this by Goodmanson. And to center ice was nearly a completed pass to Hendrickson, but not so. Godbout. And it's back to Godbout again. He goes airborne this time to find Bertliot. Bertliot flattens Reid. The heck with the puck, I'll take the body.
He was waiting for it.
Now the lead pass to Suizo offside. Was deflected, they say, or at least touched by Suizo. So the face-off back in the Tiger zone where the pass originated.
Well, they've just added an assist to that fellow right there on McNeil's goal, the second goal of the game. McNeil's, it was his 21st goal of the season, leading all college hockey players in the United States, and that fellow made the play off the boards. And of course, from being from Maple Plain, Minnesota, maybe it has a little more significance to him as well.
He's a 3-time all-conference player, having played at Orono High School. Treble shot, that's blocked away by Judd Lambert. Behind the net, here is Brian Bonnet. Bonnet in the corner. Now Brink, tied up by Elfring. But Elfring gets the loose puck over to the wall, and then it's shot all the way down. It'll come in on Moe, and he'll have to make the play, and that wipes out the icing possibility. Mike Crowley to the line with Bonin. Crowley to the slot. Can't fire, was checked by Inga. Here is Brink to Woog, a backhand stop. Bonin pushing it, and it goes into the corner. Now Brink getting it loose once more. Hartnell waits for it. Crowley with the block. In deep now. This is Woog. And to Brian Bonin. Bonin looking for Bell. It comes down at his feet, but then it's nursed out of the zone by Travis Shane all the way down. And we'll have an icing call. 6 minutes gone here in the second. Well, MSC is your hockey connection all winter long, the exclusive home of Golden Gopher hockey. Tune into MSC on December 30th and 31st when Boston University, Western Michigan, and Yale are at Mariucci Arena for the Mariucci Classic. The Doug Woog Show will come your way a half hour before each game. He'll bring us up to date on the behind-the-scenes stuff in the Gopher hockey program. And the Minnesota Moose will come into your living room 20 times this year in their first IHL season. MSC, your hockey connection. 2-0 the score here. Colin Schmidt shooting it in. And the Gophers right now, Tom, are not in a bad position. They certainly, I think, need to get the next goal, but they're only down by 2.
Well, that's exactly right, Frank. They did not get a lot of opportunities in that first period, but like you said, they're still in the hunt here. And right now, what they've got to do is get the shots through to the net. That's what they're failing to do.
Paxton shooting. Oh, and lost it. Rebound. No goal. They wave it off in a hurry and with authority. No goal.
I think there might even be a penalty on that play as before that, and that may be part of the reason for it. But Greg Shepard was very quick to make that call. Mullen thought he had it initially, but actually it dropped down to his left. And all of a sudden it was in the net.
All right, we'll listen. With audio up here on this replay, we'll run it at regular speed for you. And you listen for a whistle and the play. Here we go. Whistle went clearly before even the shot. But now why did the whistle go?
There were penalties being called at the time. I think that's the reason for it. They're coincidental penalties, so the whistle should go automatically immediately as soon as the penalties are going to be called, and that's what Greg Shepard did. As you look at Scott Bell, who's in there on the side of the Golden Gophers. And on the other side, as you look at the defender there as well, Colin Schmidt, and those two players coming together just near that net area. And it may be a roughing call. That's usually the case, or high sticks when two players are called at that time. But nonetheless, it's a big break for the Gophers there because the goal is nullified. And so Schmidt and Bell both go. Now, those penalties coming at 6 minutes and 41 seconds.
Let's take a look at that whole sequence here again. 9 is Schmidt, 10 is Bell. We'll watch them in front. They will receive the minor penalties. We don't know what for yet.
Well, watch the play. Bell is coming out towards you right now. Down there.
And they jam up. Well, I think it happened out of camera range. But I'll tell you, Greg Shepard let that whistle go in a hurry. And the first replay we saw, the whistle went, that puck was still in the crease. And on this, and the ensuing play then, Shepard just emphatically waved off the goal. Have they? I don't think they've even announced penalties here yet, have they?
No, they have not. In fact, the one official right now, Jerry Krieger, is still over the penalty box.
I kind of chuckle. We're in amongst the fans here a bit, and they're all looking up at us wanting to know what's going on. They figure we know.
Larson now has gone in the penalty box.
And there will be an extra penalty on Minnesota. There's the announcement.
At 6:41. That's Bell. 4 minutes for roughing at 6:41. The Colorado College penalty to number 9, Colin Schmidt. 2 minutes for roughing at 6:41. Schmidt, 2 minutes for roughing at 6:41.
So Bell apparently an instigator, and Larson serving that extra penalty. There's a loose puck to Checo, and it's cleared out of the zone. 5th power play of the game now for the Tigers, who lead 2-0. And the penalty killers really have to rise to the occasion here. Still fairly early in the game, but a 3-goal hole would be very large. Here's Enga. Rifles it across, but it hit a stick on the way across. Remical. Ferns fires it towards the side of the net, and it was tipped just wide by Goodmanson. Ferns back out at center now. Enga. Pass handed away to Bonin, but he was in a crowd, couldn't deliver it over to Woog. Remical brings it back in. 2 men break for the net, and that shot off Enga went wide. And on a power play, they send 2 guys to the net with a winger in the corner. No wonder they score at will in the power play. Here's Enga again. 30 seconds on the penalty being served by Larson. Enga. Reid. Waits. 2 guys down. Shot and a goal.
Oh boy, that was a goal too. That was a rifle shot. Eric Reid out of Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, doing a good job as he faked the shot. That was Woog going down, and also Bonin. They had the front protected, but he just pulled back on that and moved right in. And a power play goal for the Tigers once again, and that was a pretty goal to watch from a Tiger standpoint. You watch right here, Reid fakes a shot. Look at the 2 players down. They've got a block there. He just pulls it back. Once you're down, you can't get up. And all of a sudden, that top corner, the puck is in the net. And how quickly things can happen in the game of college hockey. That goal coming at 8 minutes and 22 seconds of the second period.
And Eric Reid bags his 5th on the power play. They are now 2 for 5 on the manpower advantage and have a 3-0 lead. And we have not yet reached the halfway point of regulation time. Jason Godbout. Charlie Wasley now to pick it up. Bertley out relays it across. Here's Stiggy to haul it to center. Now Feeblecore, nice play to Godbout, centering it. And Stiggy fanned on the pass as it came across. A little bit in his skates and really didn't have a clean shot at it anyway. They play it ahead to the line for Christopherson, back to Suizo, and Godbout got a piece of it to break it up. Here's Stiggy. And his pass is deflected. Suizo shooting. That's turned away by Moen. as Suizo and Tanberg were both back in behind the defense. We'll be right back.
A relaxing Sunday morning with your loved ones. A delicious, speedy business lunch. A romantic dinner for you and that special someone. All experiences are available at the Cactus Rose, a family-owned restaurant offering incredible food and the extra special attention you deserve. The Cactus Rose Restaurant in Glen Eagle. Call us today for all your holiday reservations. 481-4383.
Our Union 76 leaderboard shows you the top road records in the WCHA, with Minnesota right on top of the heat percentage-wise at 813. And there are the Tigers. Their three of their four losses, I should say, have been on the road at 727, and then followed by Tech, Denver. Denver even above 500 by a considerable margin.
Well, we have a goaltending change right now. Jeff Moen has come out of the net. Jeff Callan has gone into the net. And, this is a decision made by Coach Doug Woog, obviously. Trying to get a little firepower going with his troops right now. Jeff Moen come up with some saves, but the coach just did not feel that he could keep in there at this point. And so the change is made for whatever reason. And Jeff Callan, who had a strong game last night, will get a few warm-ups right now as well.
This basically is the coach's option as to whether or not he can warm up a goalie. This time he elects to give Callan a warm-up. And with that little bit of a break, we'll take a break here on MSC, your Gopher Hockey Connection.
Rex Tire Company has been specializing in expert tire and wheel service for the past 50 years in the same location. We do a better job for you because that's all we do. And during Colorado's winters, you need quality tires to get you where you're going. You'll find tires from Michelin, Dunlop, and Multi-Mile, as well as custom wheels from American Racing, Ultra, and Grand Prix. We're the people who specialize in tires and do it right. Rex Tire. If it's on wheels, Rex Tire has the tire. 505 West Colorado Avenue.
Well, last night he certainly was the Tiger Tamer with a terrific saves percentage. Jeff Callanan was. And his season average save percentage coming in was .894, and he lifted that to .902. But your heart certainly has to go out, Tom, to Jeff Moen, who has really put in a pressure cooker here. Best we can tell, he was okay behind that net, behind that post there.
Well, there's
a lot
going through his mind right now, but he had 3 goals against him in 18 shots, and the change is made for whatever reason, and all of a sudden Jeff Callan comes back into the play here. Now, the feeling of the players right now is, guys, we've got the goaltender who played so well last night. Let's play. Let's start to push it back up a notch where we were last night. They have not done it yet here in this game. The Tigers have really played extremely well in the first period and a half, but now the Gophers have got to respond here. You see the play right now also. The Tigers are not sitting back at all. They're not thinking, well, Callan was a great goalie last night, we have to sit back now. That is not the case. They'll continue to drive towards that net.
Now remember, this team averages 5 2/3 goals a game, and they probably want to make up for last night, too. They only had 1.
So you say what, they want 11 tonight?
I think they do.
Probably do.
There's Steiner.
I know they want 1 more than the other team anyway.
Now Geronazzo in the corner. He is met there by Crowley. And Reynard battling with Bonin. Now Bonin again. As we come up on the 10-minute mark here of period 2. Woog from center ice tried to shoot it in, but I think he put it up out of play.
Well, Jeff Callan coming into the weekend was the #3 goaltender in the WCHA. And you can see why with that goals against average. 10 wins on the year. That's what he's looking for. Excuse me, he was #2 in the WCHA, not #3.
Ryan Bach, I believe, was 3. And we've had a very darn good look at some of the best goaltending in the league over the last 2 weekends, with Sinue Walanaimo and Jim Mullen from Denver at Mariucci Arena last week, and now Judd Lambert and Ryan Bach here with the Tigers, along with Jeff Callanan. All 5 of them up in the upper echelons of the stats. Here's Bertley out tracking down a puck in the corner, and it's knocked around on the boards by Kent Ferns. Raynard playing it back to Ferns. The captain sidesteps the check of Steege. Gets it out at center ice, and Crowley is there to launch it back in. John Steiner hustling after it. Goes all the way down, and it'll be an icing here against the Tigers.
Well, Jeff Callan can certainly handle that puck. As once again, you look at goaltender Jeff Moen standing just below Mike Genzo, the assistant coach. 15 saves on the game tonight.
He started the second game at North Dakota and lasted 40 minutes there. And then his other appearance before tonight was in that overtime against Michigan Tech. And Jeff Callanan was injured and could not continue. A rebound here in front for Feeblecorn, but can't jam it in. And just as that puck comes loose to Godbout, we get a whistle. Maybe the goal has come loose.
I think they're calling someone in the crease area. I'm not quite sure. There's something going on right now, but Feeblecorn had an opportunity right there. We'll see if there's any penalties being called. You watch the save being made right here, just reaching out with trying to grab onto Judge Lambert, and Feeblecorn trying to get in there as well, but Reid is going to get a penalty on that play. Greg Shepard making the call. And so the Gophers, who have not put much of an offensive attack on tonight, need something to get a jump start going here for them. The Tigers also have done a very good job here, coming storming back after a slow game yesterday for them.
Look at Judd Lambert. Contrasting styles for these two goaltenders. Lambert very loose. They say he has ice in his veins. Ryan Bach, who we saw last night. Here's a chance in close for Steege. Nearly went off his skate. Ryan Bach, who was in last night, much more hyper kind of guy. Very athletic. And a more traditional stand-up type goaltender. You'll see once the Gophers get a few more shots on Lambert, I think we'll see him going down into a V-style stopping pucks. But we got to see more rubber going his way before we can tell for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other part of that too is Don Lucia told us that he cannot even put the goaltenders where they're looking at each other. As you mentioned, Ryan Bach is more of a hyper type of guy. Let's go get him, where Judge Lambert kind of laid back type of a player. And so when they're in the dressing room, he doesn't want them to look at each other because it throws Lambert's game off. Even when Bach's not playing, he's still hyper, and he gets Lambert a little bit upset at times. So he's got to keep them separated in the dressing room.
Face-off will be coming up just in front of the Minnesota bench. There's a look at Mr. Bach. And from that face-off, it's flipped out of the zone by Chad Hartnell, and apparently out of play. We'll line it up again. We told you about all the hockey action here on MSC. Some great Gopher basketball action coming your way. The next event here will be on Wednesday night at 6:30. The Gophers host Texas Southern. Join Dick Bramer and Jim Dutcher for all of the action from Williams Arena. Kent Burns from center ice shooting it in. Another minute 15 to go on the penalty to Reid. And Minnesota muchly needing a goal here. Bell in the corner. Bell, Kraft, and Checo up front for Minnesota. Here's Ryan Kraft. Crowley in trouble, the two guys on the points. Boy, Ferns is playing a nearly flawless game on defense for the Tigers. Here's Kraft. Kraft again. Treble, and he can't handle it. Kraft again. At the side for Checo, and he is stopped there by Lambert. Battles with Steiner for the puck. Gets it to Kraft. That was a good win by Checo along the wall. Treble firing. It's deflected. And it's covered by Lambert.
Once again, the Gophers going for the net, but they can't seem to pull the trigger right now. They both had Scotty Bell and also Nick Checo camped on the doorstep. Kraft doing a good job of getting the puck back to the point. The shot is taken, and all of a sudden you've got players moving into the fray right here. And you'll watch also Lambert as he gets some assistance back there as well, but the Gophers just try and put it away. But look at the goaltender. He's down, he's got those pads flat, and he is just challenging anyone to shoot at him. They've got to go up high in that situation, and they're also very, very in tight. So you've really got to snap it to get it up there.
Bonin, Woog, Steege up front for Minnesota. Somebody in the circle a little too quick. Now we have a clinic on how to do a face-off. Bonin's out, Woog is in. And they draw to the Gophers. Paxton had trouble with it. And Treble keeps it in. Tried to flip it in deep, but Paxton with the interception and then backhands it all the way down. Maybe another rush, but not much more. Here is Callanan shooting it around. Now Wu. And Crowley will skate it to center. To the line, he tried to slip through. Lambert covering up, and he holds on. Just as the penalty expires, as a matter of fact.
The little things make such a difference. Even Crowley there, who handles the puck so well, coming over the blue line, all of a sudden the puck just jumps up, just enough where it's rolling where he can't handle it anymore. And we've seen the Gophers trying to turn to put the puck in. They've hit each other. They've just, the little things are not going well for him. When you're struggling like that, it makes for a long night. And right there's another perfect example as a freshman defenseman just could not handle it. And it started to roll on in.
Brink to face off against Remical, or at least Raynard. And now here's Raynard to skate it to center. With Colin Schmidt to the Minnesota line. Godbout is there to jam it away. Oh, it's loose in the slot to Geronazzo. Zwackman takes him down. Bertley out to center. 3 Gophers bring it in. Godbout in deep, and he puts it in the crease. And then they cover up.
Tiger defense doing a good job of keeping the players to the outside. Godbout trying to move in there, but Calvin Elfring able to just push him on the outside. It makes it so much easier for a goaltender to handle. They don't want those shots coming from the front of that net in that slot area. That's the most dangerous area. So they can keep the players on the outside when they take the shots and also try to force them in the backhand. And you'll see defensemen, they'll come down on a one-on-one situation when they're taking a man. They'll move their body, position their body, trying to force the player to go to the backhand. That makes it tougher for him to shoot and easier for the goaltender to handle.
Jet Feeblecorn, who's been used more and more in the last couple of weeks as his face-off man, going against R.J. Enga. And Enga encroaches, and he's gone. He's replaced by Shane. Feeblecorn wins the draw. Shane took a hit along the wall, but the Tigers break out with the puck. Led by Enga, brings it in. He'll try to get a shot off. It goes to the side, and Callanan helps it around. Shane bumped by Feeblecorn, and the outlet pass for Brink fails to click. Now Brink is able to sweep it out to center. Burns. And a bit too far for Hartnell, but they're going to wave off the icing. The guy's running some interference there as the puck rolls to the corner. Godbout. And Andy Brink waits for it. Dan Hendrickson. Pass broken up at the line by Ferns, and then Hendrickson shoots it in. Paxton behind the net, bothered by Sneaky. Hendrickson gets it loose. Paxton trying to take it away. Good job by Hendrickson along the rail until he's finally hammered off the puck, and the Tigers have a 3-on-2 mild rush, if you will, to the line. Burns, the defenseman, takes it deep, centers it. Popped in front by Christopherson, and then rushed out of there by Wasley, who might have an idea of a breakaway there. Finally elects, I'm on my knees, I'll just swat it in. 6 minutes left in the second period. Now Wasley going after him with Tanberg, and it crossed the line first, so we get an icing call. The Tigers 3, the Gophers nothing.
This year, come to Pine Creek Art Gallery for the perfect gift for that special someone. Original paintings and captivating prints, accented with distinctive custom framing. Visit our store at Chapel Hills Mall, and as always, in Old Colorado City.
Finding it tough to get home in time for News 13 at 5:30? You don't have to miss Southern Colorado's most comprehensive local newscast. Just listen to Sports Radio AM 1240 for a live simulcast. News 13 everywhere, every day.
And Arch brings us up to date on our WCHA standings. These are the only intra-league games, if you will. 5 points separating the top 5 teams, with the Tigers on top by 2. Minnesota 3 points back, and they'd like to close that gap to 1. But as you can see from the score here, they'll need at least 4 goals to do that.
Well, Minnesota winning that draw with Kraft getting the puck back to Checo, and turn got to Treble. Good shot on net from the point position. And that's one of the weaknesses of the Gophers tonight, is getting the shot through to the goaltender.
Ryan Kraft ready for this face-off against Chad Remical. Here's Bell shooting. And now Reid. Bell picks it up again. Darts around one, has time, shot and a goal! Scott Bell!
And Frank, that is a big goal because it puts the Gophers in a position once again to close that gap a little bit. They had to get something going here to make some things happen, to give them some more confidence. But all of a sudden it was a turnover back in the corner on the part of the Tigers. Reid gives it away right here as he's been checked by Kraft, but he put it right on the stick of Bell. Defenseman goes down. We've seen that before. And Sky just walks out in front, takes it on the short side, and Judd Lambert not able to hold it. And Scott Bell puts it away. The first goal of the evening for the Gophers.
And for Scott Bell, his fourth at 14:29. And Scott Bell's first goal in 8 games. And it comes at a key time. Treble had his helmet jarred loose. Gophers break to center. This is Brink trying to get around Steiner. And Lambert was finally there, and he was the one who broke up the rush. But Steiner a little bit slow in getting up from that pile up there.
Andy Brink has got some great speed. They use him back in the defensive position as well as the forward position. Tonight they've got him listed as a defenseman, but the one thing about him, he has the ability to jump up and step up. And watch the speed right here, and you can see also Steiner having a little bit of a problem there with him because of the speed with Andy Brink, who tries to cut back on the inside. But Lambert also equal to the task and keeping the puck on the outside, and Steiner just falls into the net, displacing it. And so the face-off will come to the left of the Tiger goal.
Bonin out there with Brink and Wood. And Bonin, a good job to not only get the puck, but get the shot off. Behind the net, this is Woog. Here's Brink. Treble, and he misfired on it. Possible 2-on-1. Schmidt and Geronazzo. Schmidt with the shot in the goal. Well, it was 2-on-1 and a little lock-up here and there. And who got in front of whom first? Maybe the replay will tell. But I know Dan Treble was out on the ice for an awful long time.
And he was, Frank, but also the pass right here. Watches how between the legs. He wasn't in a position where he could handle it. He is tired. And you can see right there, both players going for it. Do you call it interference? Possibly, but that was not the case. And you can see right there, Schmidt took him out of the play momentarily, took the pass from Geronazzo, put it right on the stick. Up high, beats Jeff Callanan. And the Tigers have a 3-goal lead once again. Was just a little under 5 minutes to go in the second period.
And that hurts double because it's within about a half a minute of the Bell goal, which gave Minnesota a little breath of fresh air. But now they're back down by 3. 4.5 left. We're just in the second period here. Kraft from behind the net. Out to center ice. Pass too far for Bell. Might be icing. And it is. Lambert did not touch that, so the icing was called.
You watch right here, when you're a defenseman, you're standing there, you're expecting the puck to come into the stick area. If it comes in the skates, you can use your skates, but right there, it's between both the stick and the skates. It's a very tough position. And look right here, the little jump, and you see Schmidt trying to get a piece of Treble, who finally Treble goes right across to Geronazzo, who had the puck, but he put it back to Schmidt, and a good hard shot by the center iceman, the junior, and that's one of the strengths of the Tigers is their center iceman. When you've got Schmidt and Enga and McNeil, they are 3 guys who can make some things happen, and he puts it away.
Schmidt getting his 9th. And it's a 4-1 hockey game. Batted down by Christopherson with a glove hand. Feeblecorn to pick it up for Minnesota. Out at center ice to Bertliot. Fires from the line and a stick save. Steege burrowing his way in there. The goal has come loose, and now the whistle goes.
Good hard shot coming, and also a rebound. Steege was going for it, but he couldn't quite get to it. Gophers coming right back here, trying to pepper the net. And you watch right here, Bertliot taking the shot, Lambert making the save. But look at the rebound here, but you've got a defense in front of you. Notice how right there, Elfring doing a good job, not looking for the puck, but watching where the player is coming in. You can read by looking at the player's eyes where that puck is going to be. He knew it was there someplace. He wasn't exactly sure, but he made certain he got in front of his man and just took him out of the play.
Brian Bonin getting ready for this face-off. Chad Remical in there for the Tigers. And here's Steiner to knock it away. Burns, and now behind the net again to Remical. Off a skate out at center ice. Here's Goodmanson breaking it in. Gets the shot off. Callanan makes the save. And as the goal comes loose, we get a whistle. 3:48 to go here in period 2. Don't go away.
We've created a whole new kind of Mexican food, handmade Mexican food. So light and fresh, you can eat it every day. So delicious, you just may want to. So unique, you can get it at only one restaurant. Zuzu handmade Mexican food.
Watch for our new downtown location, opening soon.
With Tom Reid, this is Frank Mazzocco at the Air Force Academy, the Cadet Ice Arena. Home for 2 years for Colorado College Tigers. And we welcome those of you watching on MSC, as usual, our loyal viewers, and also a sizable number of folks in the Colorado Springs area watching, courtesy of KRDO television. And thanks to you also for joining us. Icing call here, 3.5 to go in the period. And day 2 in the higher elevations here, Tom, may take its toll sooner or later.
I was just going to say that, Frank. That's exactly right. Once it starts to get to this point in the game, the players, especially Minnesota players, really have to change quickly because of the fact that they're not used to this altitude. And so Coach Doug Woog and his staff over there trying to make these players get off the ice as quickly as possible to keep some freshness out there and some full line combinations.
Here's Reynard firing a right wing pass intended for Geronazzo. And now Crowley to pick it up again. Well, I'll tell you, I really thought Geronazzo would be much more the center of controversy here in the second period after the way the Gophers were glaring at him in the first period. It's been a relatively tame period.
It has. Well, the other side of that also is the fact that neither team wants to afford penalties right now. The Gophers are behind. And as a result, they can't afford that time to go into the penalty box and put themselves in a deeper hole. There's still time for them to come back, and we know what they can do in that third period. 28 goals, I think they've scored on the year, giving up just 3 goals in that third period. That's their strong period. The Tigers, it's not quite as strong for them. They have scored, I think, 27 goals on the year, and given up 20. But Minnesota certainly has got a lot of strength in period number 3, and they can just get over the jump here at the end of this second period with 3:05 to go, get that next goal, make a big difference. They inadvertently called a whistle on an icing, and so with a mistake, the faceoff will come at center ice.
Stiege and Suizo ready for the drop. And Stiege gets it to the Tiger line. It's flipped back out by Reid. Hanberg had it for a moment. Now an interception by Wasley. Throws it up on the right wing boards. Rattled right back out of the zone by Elfring. And played in inadvertently to Larson. Oh, no, wait a minute. The Tiger player shot it in the zone.
That's right. And Doug Woog is really upset. He's punching the glass, and you can tell by his antics he's not very happy. But that took a... And now Jerry Krieger is saying the faceoff has got to go to center ice. He's mistaken. That took away a good opportunity for Minnesota right here. You watch the play. Yeah, he takes a puck, puts it back on the inside, and all of a sudden the Gophers have got an opportunity with people going picking it up right here. The whistle goes, takes it away.
Elfring, Christopherson swats it ahead, and now it rolls to Reid on the far boards. Comes through off a skate of Christopherson. Now Larson again, and they flip it in deep. Reid once more, and Christopherson. He has spun off the puck, and it's back to center. 2-on-1 in the middle of a line change. Bonin fires right on, rebound. And it rolled to the corner. I'm not sure how it got there, but Godbout had that rebound. Here's Woog to the back of the net. Bonin takes a hit. Woog to the point. Zwackman back into Woog again. And there's under 2 minutes in the period. Here's Brink. Right to Zwackman. In on goal. Lambert a big save. save, and the Tigers fire it away. Callanan will let it go, and there'll be an icing call back in the other direction. There hasn't been a lot of sustained offensive pressure by the Gophers here tonight, but this, I think, was the best. And Lambert came up with a couple of key stops. Well, let's take a look at the last volley here as Walkman took that perfect pass. Big save by Lambert, and then Ferns was there to clear it away. And here's the blast by Brian Bonin. It was right on. Nice juicy rebound there, but the defense right in front of Lambert to tip it away and tip it to the wall. So Judd Lambert stops the flurry of two good Minnesota shots. 1:36 to go in the period. McNeil and Kraft in the face-off. Now here's Nick Checo. Treble shooting it, a backhand by Bell, a rebound to go! Ryan Kraft on the rebound of Bell's shot brings Minnesota within two once again with 90 seconds to go in the second period. Well, we said it a little bit earlier when Bell scored his fourth. We'll say it again here. Big goal as Ryan Kraft gets his second in two nights.
Once again, that's a big goal as well. Kraft is in the right position at the right time. Gophers winning the face-off back in that Tiger zone. The initial shot coming from Bell, but look at the rebound. And no one to cover Kraft, and he's standing on the doorstep. 24 square feet to put it away, and he does that.
Kraft got his fourth of the season. Last night now picks up number 5. Minnesota within 2. At the side, here's Checo. And right now, the Gophers look like they've got some pretty good jump in their skates. They freeze it up against the wall, and we'll have a face-off coming up with 1:09 to go in the period. And a 2-point game for Scott Bell, the graduate of Simlay High School. Picked up a goal and an assist.
Well, we talk about the importance of those draws, and they are. Whether you're a defenseman or you're a forward or whatever you are, you've got to win those draws in your own zone. The Tigers were not able to do so. As a result, the shot coming right on net. And very quickly, Scotty Bell puts it on target. And that's one of the low points for the Gophers in the first period and a half or so, is getting the shot on the net. But they made it count there.
Treble fires right on. Stegen tried to go for the rebound, but it was kicking away. The Gophers have really turned it up about 4 or 5 degrees here all of a sudden. It's getting quite warm down there in the Tiger end. And Jeff Callanan has not faced much rubber in quite some time, we might say. Well, Tom, maybe it's rally time again. Lambert with 22 saves this period. That's a busy boy. Face off out at center ice. That might be one of their highest shot totals in a period of the season. Bonin driving it in. You know, a lot of times fans will get disheartened and think, oh boy, we're down by 3 goals again. But it's pretty rare when you see the Gophers on the ice get that disheartened collapse kind of feeling. They're bouncing back here pretty darn good. 30 seconds to go in the period, and they're down by 2. Now Dan Treble to track it down. Geronazzo rubbed off the play by Bonin. And now it's brought ahead by Brink. Now Raynard backhanding it all the way down. It'll be icing. 7 seconds left and another face-off in opportune position for Minnesota. Well, coming up in 7 seconds, our second intermission will be coming your way from the Air Force Academy. Tom Reid will be talking with Jason Godbout. We'll visit with the commissioner of the league, Bruce McLeod, to talk about some events that are coming up involving WCHA teams. We'll look at highlights from this action and bring you some stats and scores from around the country in a very light holiday schedule, if you will. 7 seconds left in the period. Big face-off. Puck goes into the corner. Needham first man to it. He's bumped by Bell. And this period comes to an end with a last-second shove by Bell or 2. No doubt. Well, I won't be surprised if he goes. Needham was in there as well, but I think Needham may have received more than he giveth. So they get the players separated because they have to cross here a little bit to get off the rink. And Craig Shepard is getting an earful tonight, and he's about to get another earful from Doug Woog, who's saying, how could you possibly call that offside? And Shepard. Picture's worth 1,000 words there. We'll take a break. Jason Godbout, Bruce McLeod will join us right after this timeout on your College Hockey Connection MSC.
Advanced, futuristic, built from space-age materials utilizing the latest state-of-the-art technology, capable of greater speed, safety, and fuel efficiency than anything that has come before. And it can heat your water for 1/3 the cost of electricity. Convert to a natural gas water heater. It will live long, and you will prosper.
A holiday tradition continues. Clancy & Company presents the 1994 Holiday House. This year, indulge your Christmas fantasies at 2 beautiful homes in Cedar Heights. You'll find hundreds of decorating ideas, from the relaxed to the resplendent. Admission's only $4, and all proceeds benefit Pikes Peak Hospice. Share in this Colorado Springs tradition. The Holiday House, open every day, December 8th through 18th, from 11 to 7. Take Route 24 to the Manitou exit and follow the signs.
Well, we had a 4-goal second period. 2 by the Tigers, 2 by the Gophers. Remains a 2-goal hockey game, but at least the Gophers have found the scoring touch. Now they trail the Tigers by a mark of 4-2. Much better period for them.
It really was, Frank, and that's what the Gophers have to do. They've got to get some of those shots through those defenders. Last night, we saw them able to do that, but in the first period, they couldn't get by the defensemen. They couldn't get in a position where even when they had clear shots, they were wide of the net. You've got to get them on target.
The Gophers gave up the first 3 goals of this hockey game. The third one coming in the second period. Eric Reid would get it.
Well, he makes it happen right here. The one thing, you've got to be in a position to take that puck and you once in a while can fake a shot. He does that. 2 defenders go down. He just walks in and puts it over the top glove of the goaltender right there, Jeff Moen. And that was a big goal because it gave them that lead of 3-0. And they needed that. They thought they were going to just make it wide open.
40 seconds later, the Gophers changed goaltenders, and then that sort of got him going just a little bit, and Scott Bell would get Minnesota's first of the night.
He intercepts an errant pass right here. He walks in, but watch where he goes. He goes on the short side with it. So often the players will go to the far side, keep on going. The goaltender started to follow him along there, but Lambert could not stay with it, and he just put it in the short side, and that was a big goal because it got them on the scoreboard.
And it turned out to be another big goal the other way. This one hurt because it was only about a half minute later the other way.
It did. Danny Treble got handcuffed at the point, and not his fault. He could not handle the pass coming back to him, and a nice play also by Geronazzo, who got the puck over to Schmidt, and once again a good snapshot. He puts it in high. Another 3-goal lead.
Ryan Kraft would pick his second goal of the series, and I think he's just having one heck of a series.
He really is. There's no question he can score goals, and I said to him before the game, they'll start to come, and when they start to come, you'll get them. Scotty Bell put the shot on net. It came off on the rebound. Kraft was right there to put it away.
Now let's show you some numbers here on our Champion Auto Stores Crown Auto Service Centers board. There are a look at stats after 1 period of play with an edge of 12-2 on shots. After 2 periods, what a reversal it took. Minnesota outshot the Tigers 24-10 in the second period alone. That was an astounding number. I'm still blinking my eyes a little bit, wondering if it really happened or not.
Well, they got some key shots away. The one thing about the Gophers, when they get on track, when they start to bounce a little bit, get a little jump on their step, they can really get going. And I think there's no question that they had the better part of that second period.
So that would bring our updated totals through 2 periods to this: 26-22 on the shots. Face-offs fairly close. Minnesota still 0 for 5 on the power play. The Tigers have 2-man advantage goals. All right, they're both coming on the ice for this, the third period, and the Gophers are in the hunt, so don't go away.
I've been dreaming about this all day. It's Coleman time.
The dishes are done, the girls are asleep. Now I can relax.
Just imagine coming home to a warm, relaxing Coleman Spa from American Spas. We can make your dreams come true. We offer great selection, award-winning service, and genuine savings.
And during our 10th anniversary sale, we have some great Coleman bargains.
So hurry in and see the new 95 Coleman Spas, specially priced in November at American Spas, 8th Street and Highway 24.
The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is looking for a few good parents.
We have hundreds of wild animals up for adoption.
And your sponsorship will help care for and feed one of them for a year.
We do all the caring and feeding.
And you do all the visiting.
The hardest part is the choosing, but we can help you there. Here's the perfect stocking stuffer. There's no gift wrapping required and one size fits all. Just call the zoo for information and adopt a wild child.
Because nothing beats the joy of parenthood.
A holiday tradition continues. Clancy & Company presents the 1994 Holiday House. This year, indulge your Christmas fantasies at 2 beautiful homes in Cedar Heights. You'll find hundreds of decorating ideas, from the relaxed to the resplendent. Admission's only $4, and all proceeds benefit Pikes Peak Hospice. Share in this Colorado Springs tradition. The Holiday House, open every day, December 8th through 18th, from 11 to 7. Take Route 24 to the Manitou exit and follow the signs.
Country music's heroes have always been easy to spot. You just look for the white hat. Today's country heroes haven't changed much, but their hats have. Now there are white hats.
A lot about living and a little about love.
And black hats. And even no hats.
The whiskey ain't working anymore.
They're the heroes of the new country, and you'll hear them all on KHI 105.5 FM.
Golden Gopher Hockey on MSC is sponsored in part by Champion Auto Parts and Crown Auto Service Centers, by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, and by your Northland Ford Auto Dealers.
Beautiful country here, no doubt about it, just outside of Colorado Springs. We are technically not in the city, but on the, there's a chance for Remical right in close. He was hauled down, there'll be a penalty. We're on the property of the United States Air Force Academy here.
Mike Crowley arguing the call right now. He's saying I wasn't grabbing onto him, but Remico goes down, and so Crowley can argue to no avail because he will go to the penalty box. And he's one of the important members of this Gopher squad, and so that hurts, especially early on in this period, just 12 seconds into the third period.
He's going to join Paxton and Kraft, who were given minors for roughing at the 20-minute mark of the second period. Remical playing the puck around. Here's McNeil. Ferns at the line. McNeil again. Ferns. And to Ferns once more. Here's McNeil. Game of keep away or what?
Well, that's what the Gophers want to do. Just keep making the pass. You know that the shot usually is going to come between Ferns or McNeil. And so you've got to kind of play a little bit more towards them so they don't have the opportunity to get those shots.
Zwockman doing a good job there of taking Remical out of the play and preventing that third pass. Ferns gets it in and easily slides to Treble. He's happy to shoot it down. It's 4-on-3 hockey. Treble, Zwockman, Checo, the penalty killers. Here's Geronazzo. And they shoot it around. Zwockman can't get it out. Enga across. F-Link shooting high, hits the netting above the glass, and we get a stoppage with about 40, well, let's say a minute left in the power play. Jeff Callahan seeing right now at least another bit of a barrage from the Tigers. Was a busy man, and boy, what a third period he has. There's a look at the official shot chart. On the right side there are the shots that he faced. You can see the cluster of numbers there. That's a lot. As somebody said, it looks like somebody exploded a hand grenade and let the shrapnel fall right there.
Well, he certainly did have a barrage, you mentioned, Frank.
Here he's way out to clear it, hands it away to Reid, who misses the open net. Callahan just now getting back in, and the Tigers can't hold the zone. Well, if you got a wee bit of luck of the Irish with you, I could come out 40 feet or so. Why not? Callahan again. This time he leaves it for Zwockman. And it hops back out at center.
Boy, the Gophers having trouble getting that puck out over that blue line. They don't have the power back there to do. They've got to move the puck a little bit quicker, try and play it off the boards a little bit harder, but they're just shooting along the boards, and the defenseman moving in. They're going to get burned on it.
Here's Reid waiting, walking, shooting. He was going for the top shelf, and Callanan, I think, got a piece of it, enough to knock it over the crossbar.
Jeff Callanan not afraid to take some chances every once in a while, but the Tigers pressing on this power play right now. You'll watch a shot coming. When you've got those chances, you move in as quickly as possible, and that shot coming from Reid very high there. But Jeff Callanan also coming out right here thinking, oh boy, once a goaltender goes, he's got to keep going. He got a piece of the puck, but not hard enough to get it out. And Reid had a chance right here also, taking the shot just wide of the net, as there was no goaltender to be seen.
First set of minor penalties are over, so Kraft and Paxton are back on. And in another 8 or 6 seconds, the final minor penalty to Minnesota will be over. And with it, Crowley steps on. Bonin with a takeaway at center ice. Waits and flips it to Kraft. Ferns covers him. Bell looking for a little loose garbage back there and finally has it. He is watched on the play by Travis Shane, and it's Shane who hauls it away to the line. Now gets some help from TJ Tanberg, and now play goes to the corner. Ango waiting for it, so is Treble. And now Bell, and he gets it out. They dump it in pretty deep and then touch up. They shoot it in deep, and here's Lambert now to play it. Rolls up on the walls. Walkman chops it in deeper. And Reid to pick it up again. Reid, number 15, was a member of the WCHA All-Rookie team last year. Now Stiege in his own end gets it to Feeblecorn. Left side to Bertliot. Hires it in on goal, and Lambert plays it away. Dumped in deeper by Hendrickson. Feeblecorn tied up with Reid, roughs him up, drops him while no one's looking, and gets away with it. Stick goes flying to center. Raynard shooting. That's off Godbout's boot. And it's back out at center ice. Schmidt shooting it in. Zwackman knocks it down with the glove. Shoots it out, hands it away. Schmidt breakaway. Big save by Callanan. And in the middle, it's Brink to knock it down and lead a 3-on-2 rush to center. With Woog, they're offside. Brink a step ahead of the play. 4 minutes into the third period, the Tigers have a 2-goal lead.
T&M has been repairing windshields in Colorado for the past 10 years. Meet my dad.
He's my son. We're here to introduce our new system for repairing cracks and chips up to 18 inches long.
We also repair BB holes in plate glass and stone-damaged headlights.
Windshield repair can save up to 80% of the cost of replacement.
We offer in-shop service and mobile service.
We're a locally owned glass shop. Buy Colorado. Your money stays here.
Right from the face-off, Brian Bonin shoots the puck in the zone, and Jed Lambert tries to clear it away. Centered again. And now the Tigers break to center. Goodmanson trying to get her around Treble. Treble had the puck for a moment. Now Remical. What a pitched battle in front of the net between McNeil and Brink. And they break away finally. Woog shot it in. It was knocked down. Now played to Goodmanson again. And Treble to pick it up. Tried to find Kraft. Kent Ferns back for it. Ferns dumps it to center. Wrapped away by Crowley. Ferns again. A steal by Bell to the backhand, and Judd Lambert makes a big save as Scott Bell turned that into a scoring opportunity with lightning speed.
Well, he certainly did. You have to capitalize when you get those chances. Scotty Bell was able to anticipate the play. He knew it was coming. He was in awfully tight to the net and had good speed at the same time, so that distance really shuts down in a hurry for you. But he's able to maintain balance right here. Gets a backhand away, but just off the pad of Judd Lambert, the goaltender, as he went down, and finally the net came off a little bit as well. and so that face-off will come to the right of the Tiger goal. Also, Coach Doug Woog having to juggle his lines a little bit. Joe Pancrantz has not come back since that injury back in the first period. He was blocking his shot, and so he's got, I'm sure, ice on that in the dressing room right now.
Back behind the net, here's Reid to get it to Hartnell, but it's broken up by Feeblecorn. Anger races it to center. Comes ahead with Shane. Forced outside and taken out nicely by Zwockman.
Let's go.
That was a good D1 play by Zwockman.
He really was. Man-on-man coverage, just take the man.
Shooting it in, they'll change on the fly here. And apparently he had not crossed center. Or were they offside? No, they're going to call it icing.
Well, 2,995 in attendance here at tonight's hockey game. Last night was 2,989. I think the fans on both sides have to admit that they have been treated pretty well to a couple of good games.
Greater Northland Ford dealers bring us up to date on out-of-town scores. Only one other game tonight. Maine beating St. Cloud State 4-3. That up at Orono. So the Black Bears remain undefeated with a 2-game sweep over the Huskies. Out at center ice, Larson took a belt from Paxton. Crowley in the slot. And then it's back out at center. Treble has it. Ryan Bonin and Dan Treble. His pass in. Schmidt comes in. Callanan out to play it away. And this time he fires it to center. I think Callanan is saying, hey, a little more support, please.
He's going to take off those goalie skates and get some regular skates out there.
Crowley got a piece of it. And it's tipped again just wide of the net. They lock up. Brian Bonin got a piece of it, but not enough. Needham played it deep. Schmidt to Geronazzo. A one-timer and a goal.
Geronazzo coming through once again for the Tigers. As you mentioned, Frank, he let that shot go from Schmidt right away, and he also used Crowley, I think, as a screen. Nice low shot where Callan had trouble seeing the puck, and you'll watch right here. Gophers not able to clear their own zone, and all of a sudden Schmidt gets it right here. Watch this quick pass right on the slot area, right out of the reach of Crowley, and there's a quick shot between the legs and also underneath the pad of the goaltender Jeff Callanan, and a 5-2 lead for the Tigers from Colorado College.
Peter Geronazzo getting the goal. He had scored 19 goals last year in his freshman season. As Don Lucia says, he came out of nowhere to score 19. He's showing again this year that he indeed is a good goal scorer. Gives the Tigers a 5-2 lead. And now it's brought in on the near side by Ferns. Gets the shot off. It's blocked by Callanan. In the slot to McNeil. And Callanan was going down, but I think got a piece of it. Zwockman once more. Well, the goal by Geronazzo is only the 4th goal given up in the 3rd period this year by the Gophers. And they look like they're going for more, and they got it. McNeil to tip it in to make it 6-2.
Well, we've heard they can be very explosive, and there's no question that that is evident here right now, because they seem to smell the goals one more at a time. They just keep putting them away. When they get the first one, they come in waves. And so McNeil will get the goal, and the assist will go also to number 7, Remical, and also to number 15, Eric Rude. You'll watch it once again. McNeil making no hesitation. The puck comes to him just one time and get up high. His 22nd goal of the season.
7:10 the time, only 45 seconds after Geronazzo had scored. And Bertliot now gets it to Feeblecorn. And now it'll take one of the biggest rallies of the year if the Gophers are to come back, as Figi throws a check into Elfridge. Feeblecorn with a hit. And it's loose to center, and it's jumped on by Suizo, and he's taken out by Bertliot. 3-on-2 Minnesota. Here's Crowley. And it's offside at the Tiger blue line. We'll be right back at the Air Force Academy after this timeout.
Make Christmas memorable with treasures from Current Factory Outlet. You'll find a wide variety of holiday goodies sure to please family and friends at 50 to 80% off catalog retail prices. Show off your holiday spirit with flair by wrapping your presents in style with our beautiful gift wrap. Deck your halls with elegant and enchanting Christmas decorations that capture the beauty of the holidays. Current Factory Outlet, 3106 North Stone.
12 minutes left in regulation time. A 4-goal lead for the Tigers, and that's a pretty darn good cushion for them right now. Anga behind the net, taken down by Wasley, gets right back up. Hankinson back there to pick it up for Minnesota. Larson and then to Hankinson. They break in quickly and shoot it into the corner. Paxton driving it around far side. Jason Godbout went way over for it and then centered it. Hankinson trying to poke it in, but it won't go. We get a whistle. Folks, tune into MSC next Wednesday at 6:30 as the 11th ranked Golden Gopher basketball team takes on Texas Southern live from the barn. Clem's Gems just keep on climbing in the top 25 ladder as they prepare for the Big Ten season. Watch them next on Wednesday here on MSC, your connection to Golden Gopher action.
Frank, right now the Gophers just have to continue to try to get something going here. With the Tigers with a 4-goal lead in this third period, there's no question that this team can smell 2 points.
It's another reason why they can rack up some goals. The prowess there. Jay McNeil, he's twice been this team's leading scorer. He's had 39 and 44 points in his first 2 years as a Tiger.
Interesting, he only had one shot on net last night, and that was in the first period. He has responded with a couple of goals here tonight and making some things happen. As you saw also, the 8th time this season, he's had at least 2 goals in the game.
Now they're not lined up properly. We'll wait again. Schmidt will come in against Bonin. And they go to the wall. Ferns. Steiner after it. Geronazzo lobbing it to center. Treble knocks it down, gets it to Brink. Too far for Woog. Steiner hands it away to Bonin, and a big save by Lambert in close quarters. Geronazzo again. Long backhand pass, too far for everybody. They're going to wave off the icing as Treble has it. Both teams making some changes. Woog tipping it in so Minnesota can complete its change. Elfring behind his net. Reid gets it to center. Picked off by Crowley and shot back in. Reid to the Minnesota line. Here comes Suizo, 2-on-1 with Canberg. Shoots one off the outside of the net, possibly off of Callanan's glove. 3-on-2 Minnesota. Kraft fires, and the rebound batted away by Reid. And Eric Reid goes after it once more. Blocked by Checo. And then shot out of the zone by Elfring. Here's Crowley. Halfway through the third. And it's a 4-goal deficit, the biggest of the night. Goodmanson, a nice move. A little undressing there. Wasley there to pick it up. And now to center. And they shoot it in deep. Must be something going on behind the play. We get an icing at least here.
Well, Fablecorn was involved in a little pushing and shoving in behind the net. I believe that was with Jay McNeil, and the fans are looking for a penalty, but on the play, icing call going against Minnesota, so that'll bring the face-off back to the left of goaltender Jeff Callanan. You can sense right now that the Minnesota players are tired. Even Treble moving the puck up the ice is not skating. He's looking to make the play rather than skating to that red line and then shooting it in.
His legs have to be get pretty close to like concrete pillars now. In deep, Paxton had his man checked, but it was Steege who still fired it all the way across. Here's Remical bringing it in. Nice drop. They center it, and McNeil looking for the hat, but couldn't get the shot off. Now Fablecorn back the other way. Crosses center, and throws it down. Judd Lambert leaving it back behind the net. And Needham gets it out of the zone. Lockman lobbing it back in. And being this late in the weekend, if you will, makes it even tougher for Minnesota to play dump and chase, because that chase part becomes awfully hard. Offside at the blue line. Sticks are up between Crowley and Schmidt. They step between them. We'll step away for a half minute.
Bob Pincus has 4 solid reasons why you should buy your new car by December 31st. $1 over invoice on all 94 Mazdas. 2.9% financing on 95. 3 months till your first payment. And 4th, Bob Pincus will pay off your credit cards up to $2,500, but only to New Year's Eve. $1 over invoice. 2.9 financing. 3 months till your first payment. And we'll pay off your credit cards. But till December 31st only at Bob Pincus Volvo Mazda, Motor City.
Here's a look at scoring leaders in the WCHA. These are in league games only, with Northern Michigan's Greg Haddon at the top of the heap. McNeil, Enga, and Geronazzo from Colorado College among the top 6 players. Half of the top 6. They also, I think, have half of the top 12. Schmidt. Well, they're at their average here of about 6 a game. Elfring deflected in front. And here's Treble to haul it away. Treble being bothered from behind, gets it to Hankinson. Back out at center, Schmidt had his pocket picked.
Minnesota right now shorthanded also because of a charging penalty to Dave Larson. As you look at him in the penalty box once again. 11:01 the time of the penalty, and the Tigers 2 for 6 on the power play. And now we've got Jeff Bowen back in the lineup. So Callanan comes out at 11:34 of the period.
At center ice, Enga plays it back to Ferns, and now off a skate at center, Scott Bell picks it up. Looking for Brian Bonin, trying to get in around Remical. Nice move, and it goes to the corner again. Bonin and McNeil tangle for a brief moment, and Ferns now to center ice, and Goodmanson. He brings it in offside at the Minnesota line, however. Still 1:05 left on that penalty to Larson as you look at Jay McNeil.
And what a player he has been for the Tigers. You mentioned Frank twice now. He's led this team in scoring, I believe. And he's the type of guy who can make some things happen.
He's when he came here as a goal scorer. In juniors, he scored 63 goals in 60 games. Let's see if math is correct. That's better than a goal a game.
Well, Donald Hughes said he's a finisher. You watch him around the net. And I think it's true.
8 minutes left in regulation. And for all intents and purposes, the game here, and as the Tigers are on the power play, Ferns hammers away, the rebound in close, and Moan in heavy traffic once more. This time it was Goodmanson right on top of him. Perhaps with a little help. Enga breaks in, Godbout rides him out. To the line, Ferns. McNeil, a one-timer, it goes high. And then out of play.
Well, he didn't get on the shot what he wanted. The puck was kind of fluttering a little bit when it came to him, and he couldn't get good wood on it. He just swung his stick after he took the shot. He knew full well that that's not what he wanted to do, but he's pretty adept. You can see the puck coming off the ice here just a little bit, and as he let loose there, he also let go with that bottom hand, and that will kind of take the sting away from the shot as well. And so the puck went off the goaltender onto the net, and that will bring the face-off to the left of the Minnesota net with 7:30 to go, and the Gophers trailing by 4.
Geronazzo, a shot and a goal right from the face-off. It's 7-2. And Geronazzo is on the board with his second.
Well, Geronazzo has been a thorn in the side of the Gophers the last 2 nights. Winning the faceoff. And watch 24 right here. The little kickstart right there brings the puck right back to him, and he just one-times it before Bell could get to him. But what a nice play by Colin Schmidt, who made the little kick pass out to him. He puts it away, his second goal of the night. And as Frank mentioned, a 7-2 lead for the Tigers, a team that has averaged almost 6 goals a game on the year.
Here's Feeblecorn centering it. And now finally brought out by Tanberg. To center ice. He's hauled down by Bertliot. There will be a penalty for hooking. We'll take a break and be right back at the Air Force Academy.
Bills, bills, bills. How are you going to pay all those bills? There are lots of ways to come up with cash, but the fastest, easiest, and most convenient way is through Acme Pawn. Acme loans cash on almost anything of value. For nearly 2 decades, Acme has been Colorado Springs' premier pawn shop, offering a free 10-day grace period on all 30-day loans and loaning you the cash you need now. Confused about the Brady bill? Call or stop by any of Acme's 3 locations to have your questions answered. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade, or if you need a loan, the only name to remember is Acme Pawn.
Go ahead.
Bertliot gets a hooking penalty right now, and so the Gophers, who just gave up a shorthanded power play goal by the Tigers, now are shorthanded once again. 3 for 7.
One of the
7 on the power play for the Tigers tonight.
One of the things that this is going to be make it harder for the Gophers to take this eventual loss here is that they've lost 4 games this year, and each one of them was only by a goal. Right now, they're down by 5. Not the norm, to say the least. Fern's shot just skipped wide of the net. He gets it again. Enga a blast off a skate, and Moen covers up.
Oh boy, that puck is all over that net mine. Those net miners right now, both Callan and Moen have had a series of tests all night long. And you watch the Tigers once again. They move the puck around so quickly, and they also get that shot away. You can see it coming off the skate there. All of a sudden, it shifts gears. It's going to the opposite side, and Jeff Moen able to grab onto it with Jason Gudmundsson trying to deflect that puck in.
Tom Don Lucia told us before the series started that he thought it would be a matchup of Minnesota speed against Colorado College shooting ability. These guys fire from anywhere, and you know, no notice at all. What they might, I don't think they're an awful lot slower than the Gophers, but what they might lack in speed, they make up in their ability to pass the puck in a hurry and get off those shots in a hurry.
They can pass it. The other thing, Frank, they've got that Minnesota lacks a little bit is the power coming from those shots from the point. They've got some guys back there in the likes of Kent Ferns and also Calvin Elfring who can make that shot and make some things happen because they can put a lot of power into it.
1:05 to go on that penalty to Bertliot, and about 6 left in the game here. Out to center ice and flipped in deep by Schmidt. Jeff Moen, who was the starting goaltender, and now back in relief of Jeff Callanan, played it away. Geronazzo out of the corner, a one-timer by Reid, and a nice read by Moen, who made the stop. Elfring to get it again, but lost it. Hands it away to Hankinson. Casey in deep, but he's rubbed off the play. He's shorthanded for another 35. He'll rough it up a bit with Schmidt, then they break loose. Watch those 2 boys go into the corner, and now Hankinson hits Reid. Gonna mix it up a bit, and someone's gonna go.
Well, Hankinson's still trying to throw his weight around. When you're a rookie in the league, you want to come in and make certain that people recognize who you are right away, and maybe they'll stay away from you, so you throw your weight around. And so Hankinson out there and also Henriksen out there with him, both those players capable of using that body. You watch right here. There's the first one. I'll give it a little shot right here. Keep on going. Let's go to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, whoop, well, I'll take somebody here too, which he does.
Bart Crashley.
But we've got penalties coming.
That's Colin Schmidt off for the Tigers. And 25 seconds remain on the Bertliot penalty. It's Jesse on the right, Hankinson on the left. And that's Greg Shepard. He and Jerry Krieger officiating this game. Whistle has been busy.
I believe that's Henriksen in the box right now. He's going to get a roughing call, and Schmidt is going to get a call from hitting from behind.
Coincidentals with about 5.5 to go here in the third. It's the power play situation. Gophers only have 2 men on the ice. What's the scoop? Jerry Krieger over to talk with Doug Woog. Maybe Doug wants to know about the placement.
Minnesota 14 penalties according to my records on the night.
And now they will send the remainder of their complement of 4 players. So Bell gets ready along with Steege up front. Zwockman trouble the 4 Minnesota players. And the Tigers, with another 20 seconds of power play, have it behind their own net. Dave Paxton out at center ice. And Tanberg shot it back in. Now relayed across by Needham. Zwockman at center. Here's Steege. This is a pretty complete Tiger hockey team, as we've seen now. You know, you get a chance to look at them over 2 nights. You can see that they do many things well. They got good defense, and they got snipers. They bagged their 8th of the night. It's an 8-2 lead.
And I believe it's going to be Suizo who gets credit for that goal. The first shot hit the defenseman, came right back. And Suizo, with a big smile on his face, gets the second shot. There's the first one coming out the defenseman. Suizo following up the play, takes the second one. He puts it away. And the assist will go to number 14, T.J. Tanberg, and also to number 22, Jason Christofferson.
Suizo, his 3rd of the year. Former Orono High School star. And there is the tally, 8-2. So the face-off will be at center between Bernt-Leon and Enga. And another minor penalty is posted on the board to Bell. This is a tough way to rest your players by having them sitting in the box.
Well, when you have goals scored against you comes frustration as well. You'll say things and do things maybe you normally would not do. And it becomes costly because you think you're out of it right now. And you can see right now we've got some pretty good pushing, shoving going around at the same time as
that's Feeblecorn 23 with Feeblecorn with Travis Shane to the right. And in that pile up on the left, I don't know who's left over there. Godbout was in the middle of the initial fray. And Greg Shepard going to grab him by the collar and say, follow me.
So we'll have some penalties being called. Steiner goes to the penalty box.
That's Hartnell and Wasley there. They'll cool off. We'll burn off a little more ink on the penalty side of the scorecard. We'll post you on what's going on right after this timeout.
All About Fitness, Colorado's largest home exercise equipment dealer, introduces Full Contact Shopping. Put our equipment and people to the test before you buy. Try out any and everything in our huge showroom. Check under the hood and drill us with questions. It's the only way to find quality equipment and a successful exercise program. Right now, Parabody's home gyms and free weight systems are on sale. Parabody is tough, smooth, health club quality equipment built to fit your home and budget. Shop like you mean it and save big at All About Fitness. Shops on the Bluff Academy in Austin Bluffs.
Well, we come back to some old-fashioned ugliness here.
Well, we certainly do at this point. Everybody's in the box, and you can see right now that everyone's in that position. Number of players in the box, and they try to get at each other. Referees in the box, and Coach Doug Woog and Coach Don Lucia both watching what's going on.
Scott Bell being escorted off, as is Dan Hendrickson. I told you the unusual layout of the rink here has the penalty box between the players' benches, and that sometime will let emotions feed on emotions.
Well, it really does. We've even got some of the assistant coaches, Scott Owens from the Tigers, in the close to that area as well. I believe that's him over there.
As we told you, this kind of all happened suddenly. I mean, everybody was in the box sitting down, and then here's where we're able to pick it up from.
Well, you can see right now, look at the official. Oh, that was not Scott Owens. That was one of the timekeepers there, I believe. But you can see the giants going back and forth, but nobody's getting it at each other. It's just a matter of pushing and shoving going on. Nonetheless, there'll be additional penalties. This will take forever to get this sorted out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess the good news is that this doesn't happen quite as often as it used to.
No, it doesn't, and that is good news.
But the two veteran officials, Shepard and Krieger, have seen an awful lot of hockey games between them. And I would imagine with potential disqualifications here, the Gophers and Tigers will possibly each be a player or two short or lose a player's services for the next games. For Minnesota, that will be the Mariucci Classic. And for the Tigers, they will be back in action against Alaska Fairbanks around New Year's weekend. Conversation out at the bench there with Doug Woog and part of his staff. Tom Thornton. All right, let's bring you while we have this opportunity, and only 5 minutes of regulation left. Our Midas breaks, we pluralize that, of the game. Two of them. Midas. Try the Midas way, the way it should be.
Well, the Tigers certainly one of the most potent teams in hockey today. And here's that save coming by Callan also at the same time. And he has just been a stalwart for the Gophers, but Schmidt cannot put it away there, but also it comes to the opposite end as well. Goaltending was certainly going to be one of the keys right here. Scotty Bell gets it. He comes in the backhand for the goaltending and the likes of Judd Lambert, able to make that save as well. So the Tigers have been explosive, Frank. We have seen them score a lot of goals in this game. We heard so much about them. And the fact that they are riding high in the top of the WCHA, well-disciplined, well-balanced. Number players who have played here over the years as well. Billy Hay, who played back through 59 through 67 with Chicago in the NHL, but Eddie Mio, Greg Smith, who played for the North Stars.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Regents of the University of Minnesota. May not be retelecast in any form without the express written consent of the Regents of the University of Minnesota. Let me get you back to a couple of those names, Tom. Did you play with Red Hay in Chicago, or was he gone by then?
He was gone. He was gone after 66, 67. That was my first year coming in 67, the days of Pierre Pilat and the Hulls, of course, and Makita in those days. But Eddie Mio, a goaltender here for a number of years, and played for 4 teams in the National Hockey League, including Edmonton, New York Rangers, Detroit, the St. Louis Blues. And there may be a few more players in the NHL retire by the time we get this thing straightened out.
Could be. Well, in situations like this, you've really got to know the rule book to its depths, because the penalties start changing once things happen amongst players who are already off the ice in the penalty box. And there's going to be just a batch here, given 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in regulation. I don't think there's going to be anywhere in the world enough time to serve these penalties. So they continue to sort them out, and we'll take a break here at the Cadet Ice Arena at the United States Air Force Academy, just outside of Colorado Springs.
Why is Ricky Lake the fastest growing talk show ever?
The topics are fun, packed with surprises.
You can relate to almost anything that's on the show.
She makes the audience feel comfortable.
She's not even looking at him.
She's refreshing.
You learn about everyday people. She knows what's going on.
Smart audience.
Definitely calls it like she sees it.
She gets involved with the people. The Ricky Lake Show. Talk for today's generation.
Weekdays at 2 on TV 13.
You know, I do think about things besides the weather. During those few moments, I'm usually out here restoring the vet. Sooner I need a screwdriver, a Phillips, not a socket. Go get it. It's a project that requires patience, a lot of patience. Just like preparing my daily forecast. Analyzing all the data I receive is time-consuming, but it's the only way to bring you the most accurate local forecast possible. Besides, patience usually has a way of paying off.
Craig Setzer and News 13 Weather, a part of your life.
The
Well, McDonald's brings you the series, and we'll recap these two games here at the Air Force Academy. Here's a line score on tonight's game. The 8 goals given up by Minnesota, the most since March 5th of last year, when they lost 8-4 in the regular season finale to St. Cloud. Gophers had some pretty good performances from Kraft and Checo, and a lot of points go up on the boards for the Tigers, who have taken 72 shots on goal this weekend. The official score, I think, is going to take a while before they announce these things, and doesn't look like it's going to happen before play gets underway. And all we know is what's up on the scoreboard. There's a 5-minute major up on Bell, and another minor that he was still serving that's up on the board. So right now the Gophers are 2 men short. One of those, a major to Bell, and another, a minor. It's a rather rare occurrence when you have,
well, it sure is, 2
penalties being clicked off against the same player at the same time. And he's gone. He's to the showers. Blackman shooting it around. McNeil. Everything here pretty much academic, with the possible exception of their goals per game average. Burns, Anga, right in front. It's redirected to McNeil. They're looking to get him the hat trick. And finally, Jeffrey Moen there to cover up, and now McNeil wrestling a bit with Zwackman. And Moen takes exception and pushes McNeil away.
McNeil was trying to get at Treble, who was along the side there. And he's giving up a lot of size there. Here are the penalties.
Also, number 28, Jason Godbout, 4 minutes for roughing. And to 29, Dan Hendrickson, a 10-minute misconduct. And at number 10, Scott Bell, a 5-minute major and a game disqualification. The Colorado College penalties to number 2, John Steiner, 4 minutes for roughing at 15:08. And to number 20, Chad Hartnell, 4 minutes for roughing at 15:08.
All right, that was those penalties. Now there's more coming. Here's the latest fray.
Well, misconduct going against Hendrickson. Of course, he's out, and Bell getting a 5-minute major plus a misconduct as well. He's gone.
They'll go to the net here on this passing flurry. There's a look at Treble, who will go down eventually.
You see him go down there. McNeil comes right up swinging as Treble's still down on his knees. That's an easy position to do it, I guess. Treble gets up and kind of towers over top of him right there, and Moen getting in the middle of things as well, coming out to protect his defenseman. Now we talk about the Tigers being explosive. They have scored, with the 5 goals they've got here in the third period, they have scored 4 goals in a period on 9 occasions now this year.
That's an amazing, I mean, it's one thing to just keep racking up some goals.
Amazing. Minnesota has given up more goals in the third period here tonight than they've given up all season long.
Oh, that's amazing.
They've given up 3 coming into this contest, but tonight, it's been 5.
From the blue line, it's shot in by Anga. And McNeil gets a roughing minor out of that last fray, and a 10-minute misconduct for whatever that might be worth. I guess it just keeps him off the ice for the rest of the game.
Can't get a hat trick.
Good point. Good point. Here's Ferns. The power play now has gone to 4 skaters for the Tigers and 3 for Minnesota. 3.5 left in the third. Ferns blasts one wide and rolls right up the net and right back down.
Now they continue just to shoot that puck, and the referee making the signal it's going to be inside. The captain, Ken Ferd's, arguing the call, saying it was deflected off a Minnesota player, but Greg Shepard says nope, it will be outside. 3:25 to go.
Tom, out of that last melee in the box, the only minor and misconduct went to Minnesota, so I would assume the Tigers are not in jeopardy of losing any players to suspension.
Absolutely.
In their series against Alaska Fairbanks, which will be a non-conference affair. Long shot and a goal from the far boards. Suizo, I think, fired it at 3:11 left to go. The 9-2 hockey game.
Well, that was Tim Suizo, who scores another one. That's his 2nd goal of the game. Not a particularly good goal because of the fact that it was on the outside and it was at a tough angle. But once again, the Tigers doing a good job of making that long pass right onto the stick. Sweezer comes down. You can see how far out he is, but Mullen just could not handle it. Hits by him, and so, as you mentioned, Frank, a 9-2 lead, and how important that pass is coming. But you can see it on the short side. He was way out of position on that one, and Reid getting the assist on the goal. Nice long pass coming out of his defensive zone.
And a power play tally was only 59 seconds after his previous goal. So now both Suizo and Geronazzo and McNeil, 3 of them, 3 each with 2 goals. Three minutes left in regulation time here. We're going to post another minor penalty up on the board. It looks like this one will go to Reid. Gophers sooner or later might get a power play out of this for what it's worth. The new Dodge brings you our player of the game, and that would be tough-nosed guys who really had the Gophers' ire built up in the first period. He's come back with 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, and that's Peter Geronazzo, a walk-on hockey player here at Colorado College. The new Dodge player of the game.
And Frank, he's one of the guys that Coach Don Lucia calls on to make some things happen. He certainly did. The Gophers were keyed in on him quite a bit this weekend because of his antics, running the goaltender and so on. But his job is to make some things happen. He does just that, and he's part of the reason for the success of the Tigers this year.
Here's Mullen back behind the net, and he leaves it for Brink. Out to center ice. Minnesota with a 4-on-3 advantage right now. About less than 3 minutes to go. And they're down by 7. Brink. Crowley. And Brink in the corner, but it hops away from him. Anga shoots it out. Well, one thing the Tigers haven't done this weekend is score a shorthanded goal. But there's 2 minutes left. Crowley over to Bonin. I told you earlier, they have 12 shorthanded goals this year coming into the weekend. Bonin in the slot. And the power play about to expire as Bonin shoots. Lambert the save. No rebound to be had.
Well, you look at those defensemen also. Reid standing in the doorstep to Lambert as that shot came from Bonin. The rebound goes down low right in front of him, and he just pounced on it because no one else can get to it. Watch the defenseman right here. Move the players out of the way. There's one. There's the second coming in just to help out in case Brink gets in there. So Lambert able to smother that puck very quickly and grab onto it.
2:02 left to go in period 3. And about 2 minutes left on the major penalty to Bell. And a minute left on the minor to Reid. Kraft ready for this face-off. Nearly won the draw there. Here's Crowley. He'll go back to center ice with it. Treble. Crowley. And to Treble again. Brandon Stiege at center. Trying to move his way in, but he was checked. Crowley shooting it in deeper. And behind the net, Elfring playing it away once more. Kraft trying to take his man out. Out at center ice, Treble goes for it. Kraft there to pick up the puck. Now moves it to the Tiger line with Crowley and with Stiege. And they're jammed off the play, and Elfring gets it to center. Needham went after it, but Crowley now has it. He splits the D, and then is wrapped up there with Needham. And wraps up Needham. There's a shot from the slot by Bertliot that goes high in the air and hits the netting. And we get a little more crap after the whistle here. They got to settle down, I think, once that whistle blows.
Well, Crowley grabbed Needham up high and tried to twist him around. Then Needham came back and slashed him across the ankle. And then all of a sudden they came back together again, and Hankinson stepped in. You watch in the corner, you can sense that there's not much jump on the Gophers' skates right now. And you'll watch right here as they'll come together. Now watch they'll go together. Now watch they'll grab up high as they come together. With that right arm here, spin them around. Now as they skate away from here, all of a sudden watch this little slash. Across, it was just before that at the bottom of the ankles. Then they came together again. And Hankinson came in.
No penalties to come out of it. And we're coming up on 60 seconds left in this one. At the line, Godbout shooting it in. It goes wide of the net. Bertliot tried to jump on it. up off the wall, back out at center. Here's Wachman. And now a minute left on that major penalty to Bell. Wachman rattles it off the wall to get it to center. Ferns launching it back in. Godbout to pick it up, and there's the time remaining in the game as the Gophers are able to ice it here without drawing the whistle because they're short. Now Paxton. Tanberg stops, shoots, and it's kicked away by Moen. Stiege. And back to center, and here's Ferns. They redirect it at the line. And now the fans, I think, will count this one down as they are en route to a 7-goal victory here and a split in this series against the Golden Gophers. Turns out to be a tough weekend for Minnesota, even though they earned the split here. They might normally, you might normally think they'd be happy with the 2 points, but once you get the first 2 points, you think, boy, we can get 4.
Well, that's exactly right.
So the second night can become a big disappointment. So the handshake at center will recap this series between these 2 top 5 teams in the nation. Set the stage for our next games after this.
Is Ricky Lake the fastest growing talk show ever?
The topics are fun, packed with surprises.
You can relate to almost anything that's on the show.
She makes the audience feel comfortable.
She's not even looking at him.
She's refreshing.
You learn about everyday people. She knows what's going on.
Smart audience.
She definitely calls it like she sees it.
She gets involved with the people. The Ricky Lake Show. Talk for today's generation.
Weekdays at 2 on TV 13.
You know, I do think about things besides the weather. During those few moments, I'm usually out here restoring the vet. Sooner I need a screwdriver, a Phillips, not a socket. Go get it. It's a project that requires patience, a lot of patience, just like preparing my daily forecast. Analyzing all the data I receive is time-consuming, but it's the only way to bring you the most accurate local forecast possible. Besides, patience usually has a way of paying off.
Craig Setzer and News 13 Weather, a part of your life.
The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is looking for a few good parents.
We have hundreds of wild animals up for adoption.
And your sponsorship will help care for and feed one of them for a year.
We do all the caring and feeding.
And you do all the visiting.
The hardest part is the choosing, but we can help you there. Here's the perfect stocking stuffer. There's no gift wrapping required and one size fits all. Just call the zoo for information and adopt a wild child.
Because nothing beats the joy of parenthood.
Every kid has heroes. Mine, of course, were sports heroes. Walter Payton, Larry Bird, Reggie Jackson. People who inspired me and eventually sparked my interest in sportscasting. Now that I'm older, my heroes are no longer larger than life. Little kids with big dreams. Students who can jam on the court and in the classroom. These are my heroes. And at Sports 13, my heroes get the same coverage as yours.
What you're looking at there is a good old-fashioned whooping. 5 third-period goals by the Colorado College Tigers, and they blow this one away. 3 players with 2 goals each. 9-2 victors over the Gophers, who were 3-1 winners last night. And I think in this second game, Tom, we saw more of the Colorado College Tigers that we had heard about during the early part of the year. Certainly more of the true team than we saw last night.
I think you're absolutely right, Frank. The one thing we've heard about how balanced this team is, they've got 4 good lines, 3 of them are really capable of scoring a lot of goals, and they can do that. They can put any line out there and some things can happen. Last night they did not have the snap that we expected to see. Tonight they did. 5 goals in that third period, and they were awesome tonight. We heard they can score in waves, and they proved it.
They sure did. They will be next to take on the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks in non-conference play. That's where Don Lucia used to coach. That'll be coming up over New Year's weekend. Before that, for the Golden Gophers, they'll get underway with a single home game on December 28th against a team from Sweden. A little more relaxed atmosphere. Possibly all the players were dressed, and Doug Woog has said that he might even let Andy Brink play all 6 positions in that game. So we'll see what Andy might look like in goalie gear. Have you ever tried to play all 6?
No. Well, I've had enough trouble playing 1, Frank. I'm not going to try and play 6. You know, it's interesting, though, in a game like this, you know, the Gophers, they got to forget about this one. Whether you lose by 1 or whether you lose by 8 or 7 or 6 or 10, it doesn't matter. It makes it a bit easier when the game's a little bit closer. But right now, they just have to remember that they came in here, they got the 2 points at least out of this weekend series. You've got to give the Tigers a lot of credit. They came back, they bounced back. And that's it.
Yep, and generally you're pretty happy with a split on the road. But this one turned a little surly and a little ugly during the game. But batch of penalties, far too many for Tom and I even to count together. Not enough fingers. All right, our next televised action here on Midwest Sports Channel will be coming up around the Mariucci Classic. And the action will involve Western Michigan, Yale, and Boston University. Minnesota's first opponent on the first night will be Yale, while Western and BU will tangle in the 4 o'clock game. Remember, for those games on the 30th and 31st, you will see all of the action here on MSC. And a half hour before each Golden Gopher game during the Classic, the Doug Woog Show from the club room at Mariucci Arena. Basketball coming your way on Wednesday at 6:30 as the Gophers host Texas Southern at Williams Arena. Well, for all of us at MSC, a very blessed and happy holiday season to all of you. And we hope you'll celebrate the New Year weekend with all of us at Mariucci Arena.